Despite that injured knee and ankle, Yaxel Lendeborg did play 36 minutes and was able to contribute 13 points in the Wolverines' title win. Our other local teams did unfortunately lose last night as the Pistons fell 123-107 to the Magic in Orlando. Tigers dropped the opener of their 4-game road series with the Twins 7-3 last night as well. Game 2 tonight at 7:40. At the Cornwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
They're belting it out into the night.
Oh, yeah. Just let it breathe. Come on, man. What are you interrupting greatness for? God, I didn't miss you.
Good morning, 97.1. We're here to talk, and we will talk about the national champions, Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park. We've got Gov and Greg behind the glass. I was wondering if there were going to be some highlights mixed in.
Oh, we'll get to plenty of highlights.
Yeah.
We got 4 hours to do this. Let's not rush a good thing.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Especially on a day like today. In fact, I even toned it down for you a little bit. I didn't wear the neon yellow.
National champs. First time since 89.
A few things I'd like to revisit.
Okay.
As we enter this new era of college basketball, a new era in the state of Michigan, where Dusty May is king. And I, first of all, want to bring up, now, I'm not going to be so self-absorbed that I make some type of trophy for this, but the March Madness draft, it did, in fact, the results were I was in first place, obviously having picked the winner, which we'll get to that in just a moment. Heather and Tom tied for second. I had 14 points. You guys both had 9.
And I got 5 of those from UConn, so I didn't do very well.
Well, but it kind of makes my point. I'll make it just a moment. And then Jim brought up the rear with only 8 points. So there's a trophy in my mind, but no need for a physical trophy like some others need here in the studio. But I would like to bring up that in the bracket that I participated in, yes, there were 17 participants. 7 of them picked the University of Michigan. And guess who finished 1 through 7? Those that picked the University of Michigan. But guess who won the bracket by picking the University of Michigan? That would be yours truly. And so I have family dominance for a year. But the point I would like to make is that if you actually want to win your bracket, you pick the team that you believe will win your bracket, along with everybody else that may believe the same thing. But you have to be good in the field of 64. You have to be good in 32, 16, 8, all the way down to the eventual national champion. And if you pick said champion, you, amongst those who else picked him, will be the only ones that have a chance to win that bracket. Unlike Jim Costa that says, well, I think you should pick any one of the 63 other teams because if you want to win, you don't pick the winner. That's what I took from that conversation.
Then you weren't listening. And we can start there
But
and then
I
talk
won,
about the game.
and
we
I
have a
picked
champion
Michigan.
in the bracket guys
This is
here.
how he wants to start
I
the show.
picked Michigan.
Hey, you know what, John?
In the state of Michigan, amongst others that picked Michigan.
You won your bracket because of Illinois.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how many other people picked Michigan and didn't win your bracket? That was my point, boy genius.
Yes, but no one else. If you didn't pick Michigan, you didn't even
John,
finish in the top 7.
Are you breaking news that you need to pick the champion to win your bracket? Because I think everybody knows that.
I don't think you do.
But Michigan wasn't guaranteed to win the title, and even if you picked them,
well,
my
it kind of
point
feels
was,
like they were now.
And well, yeah, yes,
Because
John.
they
In
were
Captain
the best
Hindsight,
team.
yes,
They
yes.
were the best team.
Absolutely.
They scored the most points. They prevented the least. And it just goes to show that if you want to win your bracket, you pick the winner.
There's a lot of people who picked the winner and didn't win their bracket because they were fighting with more people in the state of Michigan. So I'm happy that you won your family
Yes, but
pool.
at least they had a chance to fight with those people. If they picked UConn, if they picked Illinois, if they picked Purdue, they had zero chance of winning their bracket.
My point would be so using a bigger pool that's not just your family, cousins, aunts, and uncles, but like hundreds and thousands of people. To win, you probably had to pick 3 or all 4 of the final 4, which is a harsher burden.
Okay.
That was my point.
You had Illinois in the Final Four, right?
I did.
That's why you won your bracket.
Not because
I'm telling
Michigan
you
won
what,
it.
this tournament, the biggest outcome in this tournament in terms of winning a bracket or telling
No,
us,
wait, actually, hold on. No, I did not have Illinois. Let me go back to my
I
bracket.
think you had UConn in the title, right?
Hold on. I do think I picked the entire title game.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what won you it, not just because you picked Michigan.
I was just going to say, I think the Illinois-Houston game was the biggest
Yep.
tell of this tournament.
I think that's one you
terms of
had to get.
Big Ten strength and Big 12 a little bit weaker than maybe we thought.
I did have 3 of the finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
had Arizona, Michigan, and UConn. I had Illinois losing to Houston.
Okay.
So
You had
got the
3 of the
biggest
4
outcome
final
wrong.
4. Yeah. Well. But yes, go ahead, Glow.
but I did win, and I did pick Michigan,
You did. And
which
I'm happy
you needed
for
to
you,
do
John.
to win your bracket.
Okay.
I just would like to make that point that you didn't pick Michigan because nobody in the state of Michigan should pick Michigan. Because if you want to win your bracket, you can't pick Michigan.
It's an odds play, John.
but you
That's
picked
all
Michigan,
brackets
and
are.
you won.
This is all it is a numbers thing.
I think the point I understand, and I'm not. I did want to take it here because obviously I did. I understand the odds. I understand the odds are always on the house. You never win in Vegas. You may win for a little bit, but you're not going to win. It's not going to be your profession. It's very rare that you get a chance to win. The point is, if you believe somebody's going to win, I don't care how many other people pick it. You pick who you think is going to win.
And, well, Michigan left no doubt in this tournament. I'll give you that because they won 5 of the 6 games by double digits. The only they didn't was last night. And if we want to talk about that game, that was pure UConn basketball. They dragged Michigan down to that mucky style, and they made Michigan earn it. They made Michigan work for it. And despite the fact they didn't make a 3 until the second half, Michigan was in control of that basketball game.
And they only made 2 the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that in modern day basketball?
If I would have told you Michigan's going to make only 2 threes and the game is going to be played sub 70 points, you go, boy, it's going to be a nail biter. Yet I never felt like Michigan was losing that game.
No, I know. Well, I mean,
Because they made the counterpoint. Let's just go down low and bludgeon you.
I felt like Michigan was going to win that game. I was confident in the beginning. I was confident throughout. But it was kind of one of those, when you get into a championship game, unless you run away, and we've seen champs run away by halftime, if you allow another team to hang around, I mean, just ask Duke, and then all of a sudden, all it takes is one moment at the end of a game or a couple of moments. It's a turnover. And then all of a sudden, somebody hits a 3. They tie things up, maybe even go into overtime. Like, I was always concerned that something like that could happen. Did I think Michigan was the better team? Yeah, I think a lot of people believe that, not just Michigan fans.
Correct. Speaking of Duke, there were maybe some flashbacks at the end of that game when you're getting steals and Mullins is hitting 3s. So it was huge when McKinney settled things down, hit the 3, one of only 2 that Michigan had all game, and gave them that final exhale. I believe it put them up 9. Was that not your final exhale, Greg?
That was not. My final exhale was probably the last points they scored was McKinney at the free throw line. And by the way, they didn't hit the 3-pointers. What they did hit was their free throws.
Right.
Yes, by my count, 25 of 28, just seeing on what the...
And I believe
it wasn't what it...
Yes, 25-28.
I'm finishing at the end. But yeah, they were nailed at the free throw line.
20 or 21 in a row, I believe, at one point in the game. And I just want to, while we're talking about that, head something off at the pass. You're going to get people who say the foul disparity and the Michigan got, the refs were cooking the books for them. The better team won. The refs didn't cause UConn to shoot 31% from the floor. Michigan did. And UConn committed 22 fouls in the game, some of which late, trying to get fouls to extend the game. On the year, they average 18 fouls a game. They had to foul. They were overwhelmed physically. It was Hurley's strategy. Hurley himself, who likes to bitch about the refs in-game, afterwards said, man, it's a tough game to officiate. He didn't do this pouty loser stuff. So
my takeaway from last night is that Michigan took UConn's greatest punch, what UConn basketball is all about, and they survived it. And the fact that you mentioned the threes and the 2 threes only, but 7 assists. They averaged 15 per game a year. Like, they took everything away from Michigan that Michigan likes to do, but Michigan stayed disciplined and they made their free throws.
Can I add one more thing about the free throws?
Yeah.
And the disparity? UConn is bottom quarter in Division I in offensive free throw rate and defensive free throw rate, meaning that their opponents get to the line a lot, and they do not get to the line a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it was just indicative of who they are more so than it was who the officials happened to be that night. A couple other things I want to spotlight from the game. Cadeau ends up as your MVP. Mm-hmm. There are montages going around of him at North Carolina last year where people don't even want to guard him at the three-point line. The growth from him year over year. Yaxel, who admitted at halftime, I feel awful. I feel weak. He played the most minutes of anybody on that team, and the jumper wasn't there, but I will tell you, he defended his ass off. He's defending the press full court. He's switching. He's closing out. I thought he played well on defense, and I think NBA teams are going to take notice of what he did.
I think, like Tom was talking about, they took UConn's biggest punch, and Utah took some things, or I'm sorry, not Utah, UConn took some things away from Michigan. One of them was the ability of Yax to really get involved in the game early. But if you're going to be undisciplined and you have a guy that says, well, I've got to get mine. If we're going to win, I have to be the scorer. That's where things start to fall apart. And that's not what they've done all season long. And it's not what Yax did last night. It didn't have to be Cadeau. It didn't have to be Yax. It didn't have to be Mara. It just needed to be one more point than the opponent, and it didn't matter how they got there.
I could tell that one could tell that Yax was getting very frustrated mid-second half, and I'm just sitting here like imploring him, you can't be the All-American Yax today. We just need you to be the best that you can be, hobbled, injured, hurting as much as you are. We need you to be the best you can be today.
But that's the thing, and Greg, the discipline that the team showed in not getting frustrated, not doing something stupid, and taking UConn's crap and still staying disciplined to win the game and not try to do what you like to do, instead do what they're giving you.
Which
I
think
thought
is
UConn threw a haymaker last night at Michigan, and I expected it. I know you discoed it, but
it's a credit to Dusty that his team was ready to play that kind of game.
Yes.
And not stoop down and get in the muck and make two, because turnovers could have killed him.
Yep.
Turnovers could have ruined him.
So or the game's too slow. We need to run up and down and play with pace. And you're forcing bad shots and bad offense.
Yeah, and I thought strategically they tried to press when both guards were out for UConn to try to speed it up. It didn't work, but they didn't like throw the whole game plan out and force it or panic.
When we return, I do have a question about what goes on here while I'm gone. And I'll get to that when we come back.
And then we'll get into how this team is going to be remembered. 6:35, we'll ask you the question they asked Yaxel. It's 97-1.
Hey, if you want to celebrate, go get yourself a new truck. Ram truck, if you're looking at the competition, you're looking at the Ram trucks, it should be at the top of your list. And I've seen the Ram side by side with the competition. I've driven a Ram, and the Ram truck deals at your Metro Detroit Ram dealer this month are exceptional. For power, really not much of a competition. You can choose from Ram's award-winning Petastar V6 or Ram's legendary 5.7 Hemi V8. And from the competition, why would you trust any full-size pickup at any price with a 4-cylinder engine? Try passing somebody with that. Try towing something and passing someone. That's not going to happen. The full-size Ram 1500 is also built right here in Sterling Heights, Michigan. For comfort and easy-to-use technology, nothing beats a Ram. Ram also has this 5-link coil suspension, and all it's going to take is one test drive, and you'll feel how much smoother a Ram is. Right now, lease payments on a new Ram truck are phenomenal. So are their financing offers for well-qualified buyers. Pull into your Ram dealer today. It's just that easy. When you get there, tell them I sent you.
Good morning, 97.1. We'll talk about this team's legacy, 6:35. John's getting killed on the text this morning.
Oh, am I? Why? Because I'm a champ.
Can he go back on vacation? Michigan wins the national title, and he wants to spend 5 minutes talking about his bracket.
Hey.
John coming back doing Radio for One this morning. No one cares, dude. Michigan wins the
I'm the
title.
one with the mic. Ask me if I care.
Michigan wins the title, and John goes full bracket guy.
Well, I went bracket guy on Costa because Costa was a D-bag.
Which is true with any day that ends in Y. This text says, I'm a huge Michigan fan. We should be celebrating the game. But Jansen wants to talk bracket. Confused. Ernest at work. Jim, how do you deal with this Neanderthal every day?
Well, I mean,
some days are better than others.
Some days are better than others, and I did tone it down. Right? I didn't wear the battery powered shirt, but I do want to ask what goes on when I'm away, because
it's none of your business.
I find out this morning because I had stepped away from all social media. I wasn't doing the whole thing.
Good.
And then all of a sudden, I find out this morning that you were doing the double-digit disco and the Costa lock.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
You were trying to sabotage the entire thing?
I was just speaking confidently about the best team in college basketball.
He went from lock to disco. We didn't anticipate disco happening, and then it just happened organically. Like
nothing with him happens organically. It was planned.
Was it a Costa lock against the spread or a Costa lock for the win?
Spread, which they did not cover.
What was the final spread?
6.5 or 7.5.
Oh, okay. And
it was
6.5. And it was 6. That's why nobody makes a profession out of this stuff.
But yeah, I had to adjust the rumors. There were rumors I was going to Costa lock the game, and I addressed them. Spoke confidently. They had won by double digits like 29 times this year.
Yes. I was very confident, but I would not have locked in a victory. I would have in my own mind, but I wouldn't have Costa locked it. I know what happens when you Costa lock it.
Well, John, I wore my lucky hoodie yesterday to counteract such shenanigans.
See, all the details now make it okay.
This texter makes a great point. It says cookies almost cost Michigan the game. The double-digit disco jinx. But thankfully, Michigan was so good they could overcome it. You want to know how dominant this team is? What's their legacy?
They overcame the Costa lock and the disco. Yeah, that's something the Lions couldn't even do.
No.
In a 1 seed 15 win season, they couldn't overcome the Costa lock and the disco.
But this Michigan team could. Greg, you have a point on Dusty May that you want to make?
Yeah. I think Dusty May is the greatest hire in the history of Michigan athletics. And where I come from is I believe that the athletic department was in a phase where they were falling in love with the Michigan man. They had to have Michigan ties. They're enamored with their history. It does them great credit. But it also can do damage to them when you need to look forward. And I think the Dusty May hire was just so unlike Michigan to do this. Instead of looking back toward their past, they looked ahead towards the future and saw a younger coach. Like, he's 49, so he's not like this, freshly baby-faced guy. And he did have some success. And by the way, to Florida Atlantic, where they didn't just have this cute little run. I mean, they won 31 games going into that tournament. I think May is the perfect fit for what the current state of college basketball is and what it's projected to be in the future. And it was just Michigan not having its history and its past weigh them down or hamper them.
I'm not going to fight you on that point. I mean, the guy won a national championship. You could just make that the argument. But then when you factor in that, it ushers them into the modern era, hard to argue that's the most important hire Michigan athletics has made.
Well, and so the argument is going to be Bo.
Right.
And I would argue the same thing. They went outside the Michigan family. They went down south and hired Bo Schembechler from Woody Hayes' staff. And then it set them on a path. Now, he never won a national title.
Right.
But it set them on a completely different path of great success. Not the ultimate success because it wasn't a national title, but a number of Big Ten championships, a number, the rivalry games, all of those different things. And it was a great era of Michigan football.
And I think what you can argue, too, is basically Lloyd Carr was a Bo disciple, so it started that tree,
The lineage
of Sean Beckler's coaching, which led to you guys winning a national championship
Right.
in 1997. So I do think I think the arguments for the other arguments would be for Bo Sean Beckler and John Beeline,
who paved the way. Like, they don't win
Yes.
last night without John Beeline. And I know we had him on yesterday, but I think it's so true to say.
Well, I mean, if we're going to say John Beeline set the table, I mean, it's got to be Juwan Howard set the table.
There, you know what? There it is, John. Let's get to Heather with the news. This is actually Juwan's accomplishment.
Good morning, everyone. This news is brought to you by Fusion Energy. Well, thousands of Michigan basketball fans just poured onto South University Avenue in downtown Ann Arbor moments after the Wolverines defeated the UConn Huskies, capturing their first NCAA national championship in 37 years. The bars emptied in seconds, right?
Oh, yeah.
People ran out there. There was fireworks going off. Chairs were toppled. People were climbing trees and
Ruby told me she ran out of the library.
Did you?
That's a BS.
Yeah, Dad, I was studying. I had my nose in the books.
No, she sent some videos, and it looked like it was an epic scene.
Yes, it was a full celebration, some pandemonium, and a lot of excitement. By 1 a.m., police had dispersed the crowds. Most of the people kind of just trickled back to the bars that were still open and continued the celebration in there. Lots of fun to be had. In other news, a Michigan State police trooper was injured after a suspected drunk driver hit her patrol car early Monday morning on I-94. So the trooper was actually sitting in her car, right? A fully marked patrol vehicle, had the emergency lights going on I-94 near Merriman, and that's when a 32-year-old driver, she was driving a Lincoln, lost control, crashed into the passenger side of that patrol vehicle, then spun out, crashed into two other cars before stopping in the middle lanes of the freeway. The trooper actually had to be removed from her car by fire crews. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of that Lincoln was also taken to the hospital for a blood draw because police say she showed signs of intoxication. Thankfully, there were no other injuries reported. A wedding caterer has been banned from working in Michigan for the next 5 years after receiving a ton of complaints. So Alicia Thompson, the owner of Late to the Lake, which is the company involved here, was hit with more than 40 complaints. These were complaints that ranged from, last minute cancellations to, just failing to issue refunds. There was one instance in particular where more than $6,000 in wedding catering services were paid out before the company canceled on the client. No refund was given there. In another case, the customer says they were pressured to pay the full price before the vendor just canceled on the day of the rehearsal.
Oh, man.
No food for the wedding day.
Just ripping people off.
Right. So now the owner received agreement with the state, which includes paying back those customers she ripped off and then staying out of the catering business for 5 years. So
Don't mess with people's weddings.
Oh my gosh, no.
Can you imagine right before the rehearsal dinner, your caterer cancels for basically the next day or within 2 days?
I mean, obviously the biggest part of the wedding is the vows, right? The actual act of getting married. But when you think of what makes a good wedding, beyond
it's
that,
the reception and the
it's
food.
the food.
Yeah.
It's the food, the drinks, the music. To not have food, you're left scrambling to find. The crew of Artemis 2 has officially traveled further from Earth than any other humans, breaking a record that stood for more than 50 years. At their peak, the crew reached over 250,000 miles from the Earth as they looped around the far side of the moon. They went completely out of communication for 40 minutes. Incredible, right? The experience was described by this crew as mind-blowing, majestic, unbelievable. So now they are headed home. They're making their trip home. It sounds like they are expected to splash down in the Pacific on Friday.
I'll watch every second of it. I watched it all yesterday. I've been captivated. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it more later, but if I was 8 years old, I would 100% want to be an astronaut.
I'm glad we've got someone in that seat that respects the space program.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Did you hear? Oh, you didn't listen. Good, you were away.
It's not the first time he said this.
Oh, Stoney was like, I hate NASA.
Oh, no, I know Stoney's got
Yeah.
this thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, I think he thinks it's a giant waste of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he won't be living on Mars.
He will not.
That's right.
Heather with the news. 2 Grand Slam in the 7 o'clock hour. Today is a chance to win $2,000. That's at 7:25. We've got Red Wing tickets. No, it's not a threat. We'll give them away later in the show. Coming up next, what is the legacy of this Michigan team? We'll ask you the question that they asked Yaxel afterwards. It's 97.1.
I spent my entire career protecting quarterbacks, running backs, my team. And so when I needed protection for my biggest investment, my home, I turned to Rapid Roofing. And here's why. No pressure, no gimmicks. It was just simply honest guidance so that I could make the right decision for myself and my home. And here's the other thing. They've got the experience, 25 years of experience. They'll do siding, windows, gutter installation, and they'll make you promises, and they come through on them. 1-day installation. They do it on most homes. You can find them on the web at rapidroofing.com or get them on the phone at 888-360-ROOF.
Good morning. National champs, Michigan Wolverines. We're going to ask you the question they asked Yaxel after the game, and that is, what is this team's legacy? Here's what Yax had to say. How will this team be remembered, and what is their legacy? He used the word mercenary.
Sure.
I do think they'll be remembered as the team with 5 transfers in the starting lineup, the first to do it and win a national title.
That's all part of it. Everything that you are is going to be part of your legacy. And they were, now Namari Bennett has been there for 3 years, but he started at Texas Tech. I think it was Alabama after that, and then 3 years at Michigan. But they all started somewhere else. And so that certainly is going to be part of their legacy. The winning by double digits will be part of their legacy. 3 losses in the regular season, the 90 plus points, only second to, I think it was UNLV in terms of points scored in the tournament. And it was, a fraction of a point higher than what they did in 89. So that's all part of that legacy. But the mercenary part, the transfer, that's a part of it.
And I don't think you run from it like it's some sort of dirty word. Michigan embraced modern college basketball in its most aggressive way with 5 transfers in the starting lineup. And you know what it resulted in? One of the most dominant teams we've ever seen in the history of college basketball. I'm not going to say they're number 1 all time, but John, they're on the short list. What they did in short order, demolishing everyone and playing any style you want to play. You want to play Alabama run and chuck? We'll dominate you. You want to play tough, physical UConn basketball? We'll lead the whole damn way. We'll take the 3-point out of our arsenal. We'll only make 2 of them and bludgeon you at the rim repeatedly. We won't take the bait. We'll play disciplined. We can win that way too. Their level of dominance, John, it almost reminds me not of a basketball comp, but a football comp. I kind of look at them as the 2019 LSU team that blew out all these ranked teams. So Michigan has 8 wins against top 15 teams, 7 of them by double digits. LSU went through their college football playoff and beat everybody by double digits. They kind of remind me of that in terms of decapitating people.
Yes, I get that. I look at that 2019 LSU team as maybe the greatest college football team of all time. And I don't think that this team reaches the greatest of all time conversation. I mean, I don't know how far down they go, and I'm not going to sit here and overanalyze the greatest college basketball teams of all time. But when I'll make another football comp. Year 2, Kirk Cignetti. Year 2, Dusty May. It's a new era of college athletics, not just in basketball, not just in football, but in every single sport. If you want to be competitive, you're going to have to put aside all of the old guy stuff. Trust me, it took me longer than most. But if you're going to be successful, you got to play by the rules. And the rules now state that you can go to the transfer portal. You can even pay those individuals. And if you do it better than anyone else, you give yourself a chance to win a national championship. And it doesn't matter the sport.
One more comp, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to make it to Indiana. That Indiana also went through their postseason, blown everybody out. Alabama, Oregon, until the national title game, the hardest one to win.
Yeah.
Right, and it should be the hardest one to win because you should be playing against what is the next best team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, the LSU comp works a little better if Michigan discoed last night.
Yeah.
But look, where you put them all time, 248, 539, 97, 97, we want to know how this team will be remembered. And if you say, well, it's a bunch of mercenaries and you use it as like something you're trying to take away from this team, I'll just point out there are other teams that use the portal aggressively. They weren't playing last night. They weren't playing last weekend. Some of them weren't even making deep runs in the tournament. The idea that you can do whatever you want with this, Elliot Cadeau was run out of North Carolina. If he was good, a basketball power North Carolina would have prioritized, paid, and kept him. But the reality is his game had some flaws.
It also may be why they're looking for a new coach. Well, and they found one.
Yeah, but my point is, like, teams weren't respecting Cadeau's jumper. and he went somewhere else and got put into an environment where his coach believed in him, helped him grow, and he became a better player. Mara's riding the bench last year at UCLA. Nice job, Mick Cronin. But the point is, you got to see through some of that stuff and put these guys together, and you have to tie it all up and get them to play with one another. They can't play like five mercenaries. And that's maybe the thing I would say is, while you had 5 transfers, they didn't play like 5 guys playing for themselves. They played like 5 guys playing to win a national title.
I think you can look at one of the things about their legacy is leadership. And it's leadership from different guys at different times. And no one's going to look at Trey McKinney and say, well, as a freshman, he came in and he led this team. It took him time to earn the trust to get out there. But when they needed big shots like last night, how many of those big moments did Trey McKinney have? And it's Yaks at halftime. It's, saying, hey, I was awful. And it's not, I'm going to come out in the second half and try and take this game over. It's Elliot Cadeau doing all those different things. So I think part of it is going to be leadership. It's teamwork. It's all those moments. But I also think it's a shining example. If you take out, the benefits that Michigan had, it's a shining example when you bring up Elliot Cadeau or Mara, where that's why the transfer portal is perfect for the student athlete. Because if Cadeau was forced to stay at North Carolina because he just didn't want to sit out a year,
it would have been ugly.
Would he ever see the day, the light of day? Same thing with Mara. You mentioned that you take a shot at Mick Cronin, which I love. But if he's never able to find a good fit for himself, are we talking about Elliot Cadeau as, the last man on an NBA roster, or he's got to go over to Europe? That's the difference.
The portal maybe makes people uncomfortable, or maybe it's the money part of it that makes people uncomfortable, or the combination of the two. But I always viewed the portal as something that could be good for both parties. If a player isn't playing and they're not living up to what they were recruited to be, the school wants the scholarship to re-roll and bring someone new in, and that player gets a fresh start. And the fresh start worked out for all these guys who picked Michigan.
When you're told, and so the transfer portal, paying players, all that stuff, okay, it's legal. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. But if you grew up in your formative years and you were told you can't transfer, you can't get paid. If you get paid, your team's going to be penalized. You're going to get the death penalty. You'll never play sports again. Even though it's legal now, there's still an uncomfortable feeling anytime that comes up. But that's because of the era that I grew up in.
You know what it is? It just hit me. It is the opposite. The irony of those who stay will be champions was what Michigan once built their programs on, right? And now those who left became champions. And I don't mean that as any snarky sarcasm. I just think that's a huge seismic shift mentally. Those who left became champions. All 5 of them waved goodbye to their original school and won a championship.
It didn't work out for Terrace Reed.
I'll say this. I think that the world of the portal and everybody getting comfortable with it is that, you know what? You don't see the team grow year to year. But I don't view it as any different, especially with college hoops when it comes to freshmen, the one-and-dones.
Yeah.
I personally believe one of the best one-and-done teams was the John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins Kentucky team back in, 08, 09? They were a monster, but Bob Huggins and an experienced team got them in the regional final. Then they were gone.
Yeah.
It's how's this any different than a one-and-done to some degree? Now, some of these guys are going to be back.
Well, the way it's different is kind of what Beeline told us yesterday. You get the talent of a one and done in a lot of cases, right? NBA talent, but they're not freshmen or sophomores anymore. They're guys who took longer to develop or took a windy road. But the result is Michigan's got NBA players who are juniors, right? They have guys who aren't just freshmen, and that's kind of the perfect mix that led them to this season. 248-539-9797. You answer that question that they asked Yaxel. How will this team be remembered? What is this team's legacy? National champs, 97-1.
Hey, when you're injured, you need more than just a great lawyer. You need a great team. That's why only Feminine Law has the accident response team. They don't wait, they act. Crisis counselors help manage the trauma. Medical pros talk to your doctors, and forensic experts preserve the evidence before it disappears. David's team treats you like you matter. It's not just legal help, it's recovery in action. Get David, get paid means you get more. Put the accident response team in your corner. Give them a call at 855-65-CRASH. That's 855-65-CRASH or on the web at getdavidgetpaid.com.
That's Yaxel Lendeborg after the game. John Beeline told us before the game, this is one of the best teams in decades. What is their legacy? 248-539-9797. Some of your feedback. As a Spartan fan, this Michigan team will be remembered as a team that took the crown as the best program in the state. Their legacy, those who pay will be champions.
Okay.
I'm so sick of the jealousy of Michigan. How come there wasn't the same narrative with Indiana's success? Well, because Indiana as a football program is more of a little engine that could. But the point remains, they both use the portal. It shouldn't be vilified for one and celebrated for another.
Wait a second. Read that text again.
So sick of people being jealous of Michigan's success. How come there wasn't the same narrative with Indiana's success?
Oh, like jealous of Indiana's success?
Yeah, like
I don't know that there was anybody really jealous about it. This is the new era of college sports. Indiana just got there quicker than anybody else.
We've talked about this since mid-February, especially about if you're going to enjoy this as a Michigan fan, then you can't be a hypocrite. You can't start calling, I don't like the way college athletics is now. I don't like the portal. Now, can the system be tweaked and be...
Of course.
Okay, and we're going to see that probably play out here over the next couple of years. But if you're going to enjoy this, then you can't be a complainer about that stuff when other teams have success. Like,
right.
To me, that you're just a grade A1 hypocrite if you do that.
College sports is like legal weed. Legal, but people are stuck in their ways. Not everybody's on board.
Right. You spend 45 years of your life people telling you weed is bad.
Devil's lettuce.
Yeah. You're going to be put in jail forever. It's the same thing in college sports. You can't pay players.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, death penalty. Like you'll be banned from ever playing again. Like, and now all of a sudden it's legal.
Yeah, totally fine.
So I understand the feelings of it. I still have the feelings.
And again, I said the seismic shift of from those who stay will be champions to those who left their programs and arrived at Michigan. 5 transfers in the starting 5. They're national champs. Jim and Livonia, you're on 97.1.
Go Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that in Columbus?
Yeah, Bobby Carpenter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. Is there's no Stallions thing. There's none of that. You just accept that Michigan is the best.
And I loved it for T. Mills too. I tuned in at the very end there, and you could hear the emotion in his voice. And it was I had that same reaction when you're a part of one, and it takes so long to get back there. And everybody always asks you the question, like, are you going to be as excited? I probably was more excited because you want to see your school win that next one. And then as soon as they do, it's okay, how do you get to that next one? That's as competitors, there's always this, and if the Washington football team ever wins a Super Bowl, I won't have that same reaction. And I spent a decade there versus I was 5 years in Ann Arbor. But it's the experiences you have, and it's the connection you have to your school.
To his point about Roddy Gale, he really became the ultimate glue guy for this team.
Yeah.
And he, like the caller mentioned, kind of did a little bit of everything. He had a huge block in the game yesterday. Gives you offensive rebounds, gives you defense, gives you putback slams. He had at least one in either game over the weekend. Just gives you what you need. He's a guy who I kind of had a neutral opinion of. I was like, okay, Roddy Gale, he's one of the guys I don't know what exactly he gets to you. And he became kind of a fan favorite for this Michigan team.
He's kind of one of those.
It's fitting that he made the final play that sealed the game last night.
He's kind of one of those guys, bench players that was on both the championship era Pistons teams in my mind. You got
to have those guys.
He fit that role. He's unselfish. That was, I know one ticket texter pointed out, the unselfishness of this team is probably why they won the championship.
Text says, I absolutely hate the new way of college sports with the NIL and the transfer portal. With that said, watching the celebration last night, my only thought is, I hope Izzo's watching, and it's making his blood boil enough to hit the portal harder than he ever has.
So when things are said about Dusty May and the Michigan program right now, and we had that texter say, hey, Michigan is the dominant program in the state, they are right now because they're national champs. But on the flip side, there's no better competitor, no more fierce competitor than Tom Izzo. Does it force him to do something different?
I had an overreact, Jim, after their first meeting this year, and I said, Tom Izzo hates the portal more than he hates Michigan. I wonder if that flipped last night. Because if you hate Michigan more, you say, you know what? I'm going to go chase one of the 5 best players in this class. Land one of the 10 best players in this class.
In the portal class.
Yeah, pick up 2 starters in this class and put other guys on the bench and be a deeper team. Because I hate Michigan so much that I'm going to do things I've never done before so I don't have to see Dusty's stupid face with another trophy. I love that these guys don't like each other. And if I'm a State fan, hey, Final Four's in Detroit. There's only one way to right this wrong, and it's to do it next year. Because what Dusty did in 2 years is what Tom's done in over 20. 1 national title apiece.
How long was Tom Izzo the head coach at Michigan State before he won that one? It was 5 years?
He did pretty quick.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. Text says, guys, I'm driving in wishing I was more excited, but I'm so damn tired. Curse you TV deals. Anthony in a car saying go blue.
So mad that it didn't start. When you see the start time at 8:50, and with basketball, okay, it's not going to start a second before 9:10.
Maybe got to bed by midnight last night. Some people haven't slept. We're going to get to the 2 Grand Slam, 725, 97.1.
Brought to you by Twin Peaks. Michigan men's basketball won the national championship over UConn last night in a 69-63 slugfest. In the NCAA tournament, teams have a 1-50 all-time record when scoring less than 70 points, shooting less than 40% from the floor and 15% from deep on more than 15 attempts, and when getting out-rebounded all in the same game. The only win out of those 51 games, Michigan, last night. So if the Wolverines were beaten in all those categories, how did they even win the game? It was at the free throw line. Michigan went 25 for 28 at the stripe, which included a stretch of over 20 consecutive makes. Meanwhile, UConn only made 12 free throws on a measly 16 attempts. The Wolverines also had 12 blocks and steals as they held the Huskies to just 31% shooting. With the win, Dusty May tied John Calipari for the most wins by a coach in their first 2 seasons at a D1 school. He attributed his players and their inner circles for last night's win. Pistons and Tigers both lost last night as well. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 971theticket or Odyssey.com.
Good morning, 97.1. Michigan national champs for the first time since 1989. one of the most dominant teams we've seen in decades. That's from John Beeline. That's before last night where they took UConn's best shot, played their game in the muck, made only 2 threes, and was in control of that game. We've asked you about their legacy. Yak said, yeah, you can call us mercenaries. We're also the best team in college basketball and one of the best all time. So we've got open lines to talk Michigan.
I'm not trying to poo-poo what they did all season long. You guys know where I stand with my fandom. I do wonder if they're like better than just the UConn team 2 years ago. That was a dominant team.
Mm-hmm. And they blew people out too.
Yeah. I mean, they won by 15 in the Natty against Purdue. So
I didn't say Michigan's number 1 all time, but if you want to put them in a conversation of one of the 10 best ever,
I think you could have that conversation.
yeah. I mean, look, Indiana went undefeated and won a national title. Like, I mean, it's hard to argue with.
Like,
those,
I think
you know
a
what
great
I mean?
debate that is just a little bit too old for most of our audience would be, is this team better than the 79 Spartans?
The Magic Johnson team.
And I think that would be a great conversation. But I didn't see it. I wasn't old enough.
I wasn't either. I was 3. Yeah. And it to me, it's hard to take out what Magic was.
Right, but it's tough because...
And what he became.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, is we're attaching what he became a lot.
Right.
I mean, not that he wasn't a great college
team.
player, but like you're only piling on when you factor in the guy's an NBA Hall of Famer and one of the greats to ever do it. But that 79 Michigan State team lost twice as many games as this Michigan team did.
But I mean, I'm not going to get into this debate because it's a completely different era of college basketball, played a completely different way.
A few more texts, and then we do want to get into what you are obsessed with right now, John. Text says, this team will be remembered as the blueprint of the NIL era. Went out and swayed a projected late first-round pick to come play for them, and then used the portal strategically to fit the rest together. A masterclass by Dusty May. Acting like Michigan assembled the Avengers, most didn't start on their former teams. Still have to get the right pieces and make it work, from an unnamed texter.
Well, you look at what Kirk Cignetti did, and that's going to be the comparison right now.
Yeah.
Kirk Cignetti in 2 years won a Natty at Indiana. And Michigan under Dusty May won a Natty in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And you look and you say, okay, well, how did they get there? Indiana got there in the first year of the college football playoffs with a bunch of dudes from James Madison University.
Yep.
And I don't think you can there's no way you can argue that, hey, with all these 4- and 5-star guys at the Ohio State University, how could it be possible that these JMU guys, because there were still JMU guys on the team that won the Natty.
Yep.
How could they possibly be good enough? It is the fit. It still is coaching as well.
We just got this ticket text. How about this nickname for this team and buying, it goes with the portal and paying guys Cash 5.
How awkward was it seeing? I didn't look at the alternate broadcast, which I thought it was dumb to have the alternate broadcast with the Fab Five, but that Juwan Howard is sitting there talking about this Michigan basketball team, the one that he was fired not to coach.
I saw it as a compass, as like Mark Jackson calling the finals games with the Warriors.
Yeah. Does it bother you at all, though, that in all of this, the Fab Five got more run than the team that actually won the title? Like, why don't we ever hear about Glenn Rice? Anybody ask? You know what I mean? Like, let's talk to some of the guys from the '89 team.
Well, I don't know. Can Ramil talk right now?
Oh, he was in prison at one point. I think he's out.
Is he out?
And I understand the cultural significance of the Fab Five.
And Glenn's with Sarah Palin. That's his legacy.
Okay, then.
Hey, no, seriously.
Didn't mean to open that can of worms. I just mean, like,
look,
it's like that team gets glossed over.
The 89 team was a classic. They got hot in the tournament. They were a 3 seed. Okay, and they lost to Illinois twice in regular season. They got them in the semis, barely. That was a great basketball game. The Fab Five does overshadow them, but it's because of the legacy and the cultural phenomenon that they were.
Yeah. It was the baggy shorts. It was the shoes. It was the cover of SI. It was all of that.
Yeah.
But I am, to your point, a little annoyed that it seems like every time Michigan's been in the Final Four, and it's been 3 times now, that we have to, it's this drama of we have to get the Fab Five together. They'll be there. And maybe it's not even their fault. Maybe this is like broadcast network saying like, it's like why people talk about the Cowboys all the time.
Right.
It's a draw, so let's have them in there and talk. And, I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yes, I get a little annoyed by okay, let's talk about the team that's on the court playing for a national title.
Right. Yeah, same here.
We got open lines, 248-539-9797. 2 Grand Slam is at 725. Chance to win up to $2,000. Can you get all 10 questions right? John, you are obsessed not only with your athletic programs right now, but with the people up in space.
With our basketball program.
Well, you got a hockey team too.
Yes, which I know you had them getting to the finals, but losing, which the team that they lost to is no longer in it. So
you're all about brackets today. But talk to me about
Thursday
outer space.
night. They will get a chance to take the ice. Anyway, the Artemis. I am 100%. My imagination has just run wild. I want to know what it feels like to be on the dark side of the moon. And the amount of times yesterday, if you were watching the NASA broadcast, is the feed that I was watching, did they talk about, well, this is the first time that humans have ever viewed the moon in daylight in this setting. Mm-hmm. The pictures that were coming back.
They're
and I'm thinking to myself, what would it feel like for those 40 minutes to be in outer space and have no contact with the world? First of all, I think it would be amazing. But you are deeper in space than humans have ever been. And you're just floating out in literally the middle of nowhere. It just, you're looking at things and you're seeing these pictures come back, and we'll see more images and more pictures come out. And I am absolutely captivated. I want to know what it feels like to be sitting in that rocket on the launch pad, and all of a sudden, hey, you want to talk about horsepower? Bam! I mean, hey, it's Bob Ufer. You're gonna need a rocket in your backside to catch that one. You got a rocket in your backside, and you are getting shot into space, going 15,000 miles an hour. I want to know what that feels like. And then to be in outer space and to be weightless and to be floating around. They have done a tremendous job, whether it's the networks, it is NASA itself, of putting this into terms that even a meathead like myself can now dream and imagine what that would be like.
The photos that have come back are incredible. The moon, looking back at Earth, the journey that these people are on. Has this captivated everybody the way it has John Jansen? 248-539-9797.
You know what's really captivated me? They keep talking about this deep space network. First of all, the names of all this stuff, it's cool. And they got all the craters on the moon named, and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. The deep space network, they're talking back and forth like they're next door. It's NASA headquarters, and they're talking to the pilot, and they're talking to the astronauts, and they're, which window do you want to look out? Should we take the shade off of this window? And I can't get a full cell signal on the corner of Ford and Lilly. I go into Target, and I need the deep space network to be able to call my wife. How is that even possible? They're how many thousands of miles away,
yep,
and they're talking back and forth. That amazes me as well.
Would you have wanted to be an astronaut? Did you want to be an astronaut?
I didn't want to be an astronaut when I was a kid. No, because when I was a kid on my birthday, famously, the Challenger blew up. I don't know that I necessarily want to do that.
But now seeing it?
But now seeing it, if I was an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, and I know teachers all over, although some schools were on spring break last week, if you were in, chances are the rocket launch, now it was after school hours, but a lot of the lesson plans, especially the science classes, the math classes, they're all talking about the Artemis 2 and the rocket launch and how significant this is. So if I was a kid now, yeah, I'd want to be an astronaut.
Heather?
No, I have no desire. Never did. I think it is fascinating. I'm with you, John. I think it is captivating. It is fascinating, but I'm a scaredy cat. Like, I like being down here and watching from Earth.
Oh, I tell you what, if they, and I sent you guys this, if they made it possible for regular people, even meatheads, any time in the next, let's say I'm 50 now, let's just say in the next 20 years, that it was possible for the average individual to go into space, I would be first in line. I would be unbelievable. And I'm curious because I'm married to someone much like you that I don't think Lisa would ever even consider.
And I said this during our cookie jar on Friday, if I could 100% guarantee that everything is going to go right and I'm going to make it back safely to my kids and my husband, then yeah, I'd probably do
that
it.
when you get on an airplane.
I know, which is why I don't like flying. Like I fly. We go on lots of vacations. I've done a lot of traveling, but I feel uncomfortable until we land. Like I'm a little anxious the entire time.
But how about Colin though? I got to imagine he would love to go up.
Oh, for sure. I
got my astronaut
It's different now that he's got babies. I think he's a little bit more cautious about having children at home. Yeah. That when you have kids, wouldn't take as many risks. But I think for sure, if it was possible, he totally would.
Yeah.
Texa, tell John it's the far side of the moon, not the dark side of the moon.
It sounds cooler.
It does sound cooler if you say the dark side of the moon.
Like Darth Vader's going to be back there.
Hey, I agree. The way John opened the show, I'd pay to put him in a rocket and shoot his ass to outer space. That signed Roy in Clarkston. Yep. Hey, we'll get back to Michigan at 7:35. National champs, lot to discuss. Heather's news and the 2 Grand Slam next, 97.1. Talk about Shaner Roofing, whether it's time for a new roof, windows, or siding. Those are big decisions that you don't make lightly. When it's time, you want a company you can actually trust. For over 30 years, Michigan homeowners have counted on Shaner Roofing. They're bringing that same 5-star service to windows and siding. And here's what sets them apart. That 30-year track record, local, family-owned company that treats every customer like a member of that family. Every roof they install, lifetime transferable warranty. They've earned a 4.9-star Google rating, thousands of happy homeowners, reputation that isn't bought but earned. Decades of doing the job right. So, if you're in the market for a roof, if you need new windows or siding, you owe it to yourself to get a quote from Shaner. MyMichiganRoof.com. MyMichiganRoof.com. Shaner Roofing, windows and siding. Michigan's name you can trust.
Hey, think about all the businesses that keep Detroit moving. Retail stores, restaurants, warehouses, offices, and job sites. They can't afford break-ins, they can't afford fire damage, and they certainly can't afford downtime. That's where Guardian Alarms comes in. Security cameras, fire protection, access control, live local monitoring backed by real people 24/7. Guardian Alarm has been protecting Michigan businesses since 1930. If you run a business and you want real protection, not guesswork, call Guardian Alarm. You can reach them at 1-800-STAY-OUT for a free quote. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Before the 2 Grand Slam, Heather with the news.
This news is brought to you by Gardner White. Well, after Michigan basketball's national title win Monday night, fans swarmed Ann Arbor in celebration. Everyone was out there, out and about, but it also means it was a busy night for first responders. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries in all of this celebration, but there were more than 40 fires that were extinguished. So that was good. Multiple street signs were damaged, so they were out just making sure everyone was okay, putting out the fires. It sounds like only 2 people were arrested after the game. And by 1 a.m., police kind of dispersed the crowds on South University Avenue. Police on social media did make a post saying that they are looking forward to the city hosting a safe and celebratory parade in the coming days.
Wasn't it when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they had to grease the poles?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do that. And even if there's a threat of them winning anything.
Yes. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Are the couches fine?
There was one couch fire.
Oh.
That was reported, yes.
I know. I told Ruby yesterday before I said, because she wanted to be out there for the celebration. She was at the watch party at Chrysler. I said, no climbing anything and no matches. The rest of that,
Simple.
hey, just
Go
see
have
if you
some
can make
fun.
it back to the dorm in one piece.
Yep. Now, when it comes to winning the national championship game, it means a big payday for Dusty May. So he is set to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars in bonuses. According to reports, he already earned about $250,000 for winning the Big Ten title and then reaching the Final Four. Then when it comes to the championship game, just making it there triggered another $300,000 bonus, and then winning it pushed that number to around $400,000. So in total, the tournament has brought in,
$750,000.
yeah, lots of money.
That's
Worth every penny.
Yep. Oh, after more than 5 weeks of steady increases, Michigan drivers are finally seeing a small break at the pump. Gas prices dropped slightly in Michigan over the past week by 9 cents. So prices are still higher than last year. According to AAA, the average gas price in the state is now $3.87 per gallon, which is 60 cents more than this time last month, 63 cents more than this time last year. In Metro Detroit, the average price is $3.89 per gallon. And unfortunately, with ongoing increases in crude oil, prices most likely will be pushed higher again. So enjoy.
Hopefully, for the time being, you can afford more than one.
A Michigan wedding caterer is now banned from the industry for 5 years after dozens of complaints came in from brides and grooms. The business is called Late to the Lake. It was running out of Spring Lake, Michigan. And according to the state attorney general, it racked up more than 40 complaints from clients. And customers were saying that this company took thousands of dollars, then would cancel last minute and would never reimburse them in lost funds. In one case, there's a couple who reportedly paid more than $6,000 for catering, only to have it canceled with no money returned. And now, instead of going through a big court case, the owner reached an agreement with the state, which includes paying back customers and then staying out of the catering business in Michigan for 5 years. The attorney general is also urging anyone who may have been affected to come forward to try to get some money back.
Yeah.
And also just a reminder to anyone planning weddings to really vet your vendors carefully. I mean, it's not their fault, but it is just a reminder just to get reviews.
Yeah, when you
references.
Yeah.
when you say 5 years, I'm thinking, oh, what'd they do? But you're robbing people blind.
Oh, yeah. I wonder
that's
how
not
much
a
money.
business model. That's just to stick them up.
It's amazing that she could even be in business this long
I know.
with that type of track record.
I know. I love this story. There's a college basketball team that's going viral after doing something super simple, but really incredibly meaningful. So players at Fort Scott Community College, this is in Kansas, helped one of their teammates, freshman Taylor Frost, learn to ride a bike for the very first time. Yeah. So the moment was caught on camera, and it shows teammates running alongside him, cheering him on, encouraging him until he finally takes off on his own. And when he does, the entire team just erupts in cheers. And what makes it more special is that his mom says she had tried for years to teach him how to ride a bike, but it just never quite clicked. And she said she was just moved by seeing his teammates help him instead of make fun of him or, belittle
that came
him.
first, and then they helped him. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, the video has racked up huge views online. People calling it one of the most wholesome sports moments of the year. It's really cute. It's a good video. It's an uplifting
That's
video.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your time to give us a call now. 248-539-9797. Your chance to play the $2 Slam. So after the Late Show with Stephen Colbert ends on May 21st, Comics Unleashed with what's this guy's name?
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen, there it is, will take over. So Allen is actually paying CBS for the time slot, and he's paying for the following hour as well to air his comedy game show, Funny You Should Ask. So he's going to have those two slots. He says that he created and launched Comics Unleashed 20 years ago, so fellow comedians could have a platform to do what they love, obviously make people laugh. So
I can't say I'm overly familiar with him.
I've never heard of him, which is why I couldn't think of what his first name was.
His Wikipedia says he was born in Detroit.
Oh, hey! Little local tie
There you
there.
go.
All right. Finally, before we get to the game, according to new research, people who undergo rapid weight loss, like using GLP-1 or, like an Ozempic, are twice as likely to get divorced.
Oh.
So they're losing weight and then realizing, hey,
I got
I'm a little
options.
more confident. Yeah. Feeling a little bit better, more confident to make some big changes, and they're leaving bad relationships. Yeah. According to the study, they looked at more than 12,000 married participants, and more than 14% divorced within 6 years after losing the weight, compared to 8% of just, the general population.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, it's what it is.
yeah. So do you,
So
you
look
want your
out.
partner to lose weight?
We want our partners to be healthy. So, yes, whatever they need to do.
All right, it's the $2 Slam.
I don't know if it's ever been done before. Have we ever had back-to-back winners? Somebody could make history here is what I'm saying.
Tom?
We have not. We had a 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this
right.
could be it.
Uh-huh.
Scott, Ypsilanti, the moment's yours. Good morning.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, you're the guy that follows the guy. Yes, we do.
You can do it. So you know the rules, Scott. If there's one you don't know, feel free to say pass. We'll get back to it if there's enough time. Are you excited? All right, Scott, here we go. Your timer starts right now. Who do the Detroit Red Wings play tonight? The University of Connecticut is located in this city. This artist had the 1993 hit Loser. Who is the manager of the Minnesota Twins? Macklin Celebrini plays for this NHL team. What is the capital of Alabama? Who did UConn defeat in the 2024 men's basketball national championship game? This Detroit Tigers player wears jersey number 33. Who played Kylo Ren in Star Wars: The Force Awakens? Where did Lions tight end Brock Wright play in college? The University of Connecticut is located in this city.
So we have a question.
Yes.
We have a scoring question. Macklin Celebrini, are we counting San Jose as the answer? Some deliberating behind
This
the scenes.
is quite the tweener of all times here. We believe, I agree with Greg, that he did not complete saying St. Louis. Therefore,
So we're going to count it.
we will count it. And I think some of that has to do with the whole performance.
Look, I want to make sure we get you the $25.
Not
So
trying
I'm
to be
cool with
mean.
it.
We're doing live radio here.
You got it.
All right.
He said you got you a pity point that's $75. Not bad.
Okay.
right? I counted correctly. That's 3.
Wait, Greg's saying 4.
Oh, 4.
Hold on.
Yeah. So I was looking at. Did he get the capital of Alabama?
It's
No.
Montgomery. He said Birmingham.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I
yeah.
would've
So,
thought- hey,
yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. So it was only 3. Yeah.
Scott, I would have thought the same thing. Right, because in Birmingham, they love the governor. I would have thought it would have been Birmingham, too.
No.
Oh,
Okay,
see, it doesn't
so-
change for me. He gets 3.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's a 3.
So 3. Yes,
75 bucks.
bucks. Yes.
Glad we figured that out. We'll put you on hold. We'll get you paid. Scott, thanks for playing.
So what's this saying? With
In
Birmingham?
Birmingham, they love the What's that song? Sweet Home Alabama, right?
Sing it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, I'm
go
not
ahead.
going to sing it.
I've just never heard what you said.
No, I don't know if that's the song. I do know that it is a lyric in a song.
Maybe that's not the song.
Yeah. No, but I did understand the reference. So
Thank
let's
you.
go through this because the 2 Grand Slam on Tuesdays is brought to you by Feminine Law. Get David, get paid. Detroit Red Wings do play the Blue Jackets tonight. He got that one.
Yeah?
The University of Connecticut is located in Stores. Mm-hmm. 1993 hit Loser. He got that one with Beck. The manager of the Minnesota Twins is Derek Shelton.
I had no idea.
No. Macklin Celebrini does play for the Sharks.
Yeah?
The capital of Alabama, as we've discussed, is in Montgomery. UConn defeated the 2024 or defeat in the 24 men's national championship game. Who did they defeat? Purdue Boilermakers.
I gave that answer 20 minutes ago.
I know. And I kind of raised an eyebrow. You don't usually
Trying
give
to
away
help
those
people
answers.
out, yeah.
Number 33 for the Tigers is Colt Keith. Adam Driver played Kylo Ren. And Brock Wright played his college football at Notre Dame.
Just got married, by the way. Congrats
did
to
he?
him. Yeah. Yes, Sweet Home Alabama, Leonard Skinner. They have a line in Birmingham, they love the governor. I don't know why I was second guessing myself. I knew what I was saying.
Okay.
Did you know it was Montgomery?
I thought it was Birmingham.
Really?
I would have guessed
Because of
Birmingham
that.
because of that song.
And not learning your state capitals at 10 years old.
I don't think we did that. Like, I don't know if that stopped happening. Do kids still learn the capitals?
Yes.
I never learned them, so I'm
Okay.
right there with you.
All of my kids that have gone through
Well, that's that private school education.
No. They were public school all the way till high school, and they learned it in elementary school.
I'm sure there's a song.
Oh, there's a
mean,
new song, and it's
yeah.
terrible.
So Heather didn't, but I did. So somewhere in those 2 years, people stopped learning the capitals.
People are stunned that I am the only member of the show that knows Sweet Home Alabama. I
You
mean,
know that,
is
but not your
hilarious.
honors.
Yeah. Or how to read meow.
It's tricky, John. All right, next we're going to get back into Michigan hoops, talk about that game last night and this team's legacy. Open lines, it's 97-1.
Hey, we've had some rain, we've had some sun, and hey, that grass, it's starting to green up, and it looks great. And if you want that lawn on your lawn or on your home that everybody can respect, you got to give Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service a call. Get green, stay green with Natural Way. In fact, I just got the email. They put the first application out. That first application is going to take care of the crabgrass. It's going to set you up for a thick green lawn all summer long. And hey, maybe it even takes care of those dandelions. They're a program that is not going to just bring every problem to you and say, what do you want us to do? No, they just fix it. That's why I love it. If you're tired of fighting weeds, the early treatment is the key. Great lawns don't happen by accident. And they've got some great offers right now for a limited time. Purchase a full lawn program. You're going to get free grub control. But I mentioned my name along with 97.1, and you can save some green when you prepay. Call by the end of the month for the early bird discount. You can give them a call at 888-GET-GREEN or find them on the web at naturalwaylawn.com.
Apparently, we all don't know the song, Heather.
Oh, we all
We
know the
all
song.
know the song.
Apparently
We just
not
don't know all the
words.
lyrics.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the guy that knew the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, it must be that scene. I know Stoney would have known them.
I'm horrible with lyrics and movie lines in terms of remembering them.
Oh, movie lines. I'm usually pretty good with movie lines.
Anyway, good morning, 97.1. We have a lot to talk about today. At some point, we'll get to Heather's surprise gone wrong. John's advice for Red Wing fans. That ought to be good. We'll give away Red Wing tickets later in the show, but we know what the headline is today, and it's John decked out in his maize and blue, albeit less aggressively.
Yeah. I made my statement last week.
Not blinding highlighter maize. But you're feeling good. Michigan fans should be celebrating today. National champs for the first time since 1989.
Does feel good. It was exciting, and it was an exciting season. Obviously, culminating in a national championship. But we had asked the question: is it national championship or bust? And I think both of us said at that time, yeah. With this group of talent and the way that they had stormed through the regular season, there were some pitfalls along the way.
But we saw what they were capable of very early on, and it was in November when they were beating people by 40 points. And it was, okay, if this is what you're capable of, the standard is you will break the drought. You will be the first Big Ten team to win it in 26 years. You will be the first Michigan team to do it in damn near 40 years. And they lived up to that.
They did. And, tip of the cap to Dusty May of utilizing everything at his disposal and going out there and creating a team. And getting that team and all five guys, I think it was mentioned every 5 minutes last night. If they win the national title, it'll be the first time that all five of the starters didn't originate at Michigan. They're all transplants.
Yeah, and look, it's been used. Mercenaries has been used. So be it, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't run from it if I was a Michigan fan. That's what they'll be remembered for. They are the first to do it with 5 transfers in the starting 5. And you know what? They won't be the last. This is what you do because it allows you to blend NBA talent while also having them be upperclassmen. It's how you achieve. It's what Beeline talked about yesterday, having an experienced and skilled team.
Yeah. And whether it's football and what Kirk Cignetti's done at Indiana, it's what Dusty May in 2 years, what is he, 64-13 in 2 years at the University of Michigan? It's you can go out there and attract all the talent. We've seen other teams go out there and attract top recruiting classes every single year. But once they hit the court or once they hit the field, you got to get them to play as a team. And Kirk Cignetti has mastered that on the football side of things. Now, Dusty May, in terms of the transfer portal era, has done that on the basketball court.
This team's legacy, 248-539-9797. What is it? Yax was asked after the game, what is this team's legacy? And they are one of the greats ever. Mm-hmm. To win 5 of the 6 games in the tournament by double digits, to win 29 games by double digits. I tell you, they could play up-tempo and run and gun and play the way Bama wanted to play and spank them. And if you want to go into the muck, you want to play a low-scoring rock fight, Michigan didn't make a 3 in the first half last night. They had the lead. Why? We'll just go down low and bludgeon you. They made 2 threes for the entire game, and the first one they made put them up 11. I mean, I tell you, they could play any style you want to play. They did not have a weakness. And, John, you're right. Going to the portal is not an automatic success. You got to get everybody to buy in, not to play as 5 mercenaries, but to play as 5 guys playing on the same team. Elliot Cadeau was run out of North Carolina. He couldn't shoot. Teams wouldn't defend him, and he was the most outstanding player last night. Mara sitting on the bench for Mick Cronin. Bright guy out there. You'd start looking around. I mean, these are guys who left their schools and formed the Avengers in Ann Arbor with the right coach to tie it all together. So I wouldn't run from it. You can say those who stay will be champions. That used to be the moniker. Those who left became champions. I know that's jarring for some, But it's college sports now, and Michigan embraced it. So do not run from what made you champions. You embraced it, and you deserve to be the champs.
And it's obviously, it's hard to say UCLA in the Big Ten on the women's side winning a national title. Obviously, Michigan winning it on the men's side. Indiana winning the football. It's the trifecta. And I don't think it's any surprise that the Big Ten schools are currently taking over college athletics. And it could be, you get two options in hockey.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 are Big Ten schools, Michigan and Wisconsin.
And I think it just shows it's the deep pockets of Big Ten fan bases.
So UConn lost last night, but one of the losers was Greg Sankey. Right?
Yes.
How the mighty have fallen. It just means more. It's almost like when you have to pay the money above board, doesn't continue to go your way.
No, it's everybody. It has leveled the playing field now that you can do it everywhere.
Greg Sankey did say that 25 teams should have made the NCAA tournament from the SEC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the question is about legacy and how you view this Michigan team and what history will say about them. The game itself, John, how did you, because you weren't in yesterday, we didn't get a sense of your level of confidence, but just watching that game unfold, how did it play out to you?
Well, I didn't think UConn was even going to make the national championship game. Although when they did, and you think about the experience that Dan Hurley has and kind of the legacy that he's had so far. He had won 2 of the last 3 and had an opportunity to win 3 of 4. We would have been talking about him as, one of the dynasties in modern college athletics. And that dynasty could still be written, but he went up against Michigan that found a different way to win that game. And you could talk about the free throws, 25 of 28. You could talk about the defense. They were forced to win a way, quite honestly, I don't know that they had won all season long. Because they only hit 2 out of, 13 three-pointers. They didn't hit any in the first half, yet they went into halftime up 4.
Yeah.
They had to play with a stifling defense. They had to play a slower style of game. And that's where, when you look at, and Dan Hurley said this early in the game when he was on one of the interviews.
Yeah.
We are getting them to play our game, which is the only chance that we have of beating this Michigan team.
I thought it was telling when he said that. It's kind of what we'd all theorized. Their plan was going to be, this game's got to get played in the 60s. And it's got to be fewer possessions, and we need to knock down our threes, and we need them to be ice cold. It had to be one style of basketball, more of a rock fight for UConn to win. And it was played at their style, and Michigan led the entire second half, led most of the entire game.
You watch both games this weekend and how different the 2 games were. That speaks of how great this team is. The 2 different styles. And I think if you would have told Dan Hurley that Michigan would make 2 threes and only have 7 assists the entire game when they average over 15 per game, he would have said we would have won. Yeah. Especially when they had 3 guys who made 3 threes. Maybe the only thing he would change the blueprint is that UConn would have had maybe a better 3-point percentage. But they beat the UConn blueprint last night. That's why I wasn't as confident as you yesterday, because I think he's the best coach in the game.
Now, to be clear, they would have discoed if they made a couple more threes. But they didn't have to. That's kind of the beauty of this Michigan team, is that they could play you anyway, anyhow. And a couple things I wanted to spotlight from last night. Yaxel. He was open and maybe a little too honest at halftime, saying, I'm weak. I just don't have it. He led the team in minutes. And while his jumper wasn't falling, I thought he brought it on the defensive end of the floor. I thought that's a game you can be proud of. That's a game that NBA teams are going to really fixate on because he's an older rookie. But he's out there defending on ball full court. He's blocking shots at the rim. He's switching and engaged and closing out on shooters. I thought that is a game where you do not have it, but you play anyway because you are committed to this group and to winning a championship. I think a lot should be said about the way Yaxel played defensively. And the other thing I want to acknowledge, you're going to get people who want to make this about, well, the only way Michigan could win shooting that poorly was they got gifted all the free throws. Michigan did not win because they were gifted that game. Michigan won because they were the better team. The refs didn't make UConn shoot 31% from the floor. Michigan did. And in terms of, they called too many fouls, that's the way UConn wanted to play.
Yeah.
And they only committed 4 more fouls in that game than they average. Well, you pick up a couple late when you're trying to extend the game. It's basically the way UConn played all year. They fouled people. They played aggressive defense. And you know what? When you're overwhelmed physically, you have to foul. So, did the refs decide the game? No. And I hope that narrative doesn't gain any steam from people because it's just not warranted. Even Dan Hurley, who famously complains to the officials, said after the game, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's a tough game to officiate." Michigan fans want to hear from you today. You're the national champs. 248-539-9797. What is the legacy of this group? It's 97-1.
Hey, in my career, and we learned it again last night, the best results come from having the right team in your corner. That's exactly why I love First Merchants Bank. They've been my bank for a number of years now because they do something a lot of big banks have forgotten about. They take the time to actually get to know me. And whether I'm looking for long-term growth or just need a sounding board for a big financial decision, they provide the countersign advice and tailored solutions that actually work for my life. With First Merchants, I never feel like I'm just another account number. I know I'm in control, and I love being in control. They give me the tools and the confidence to know I'm making the right decisions and choices for myself and for my family's future. It's about peace of mind, knowing your bank is as invested in your success as you are. If you want to feel that same confidence in your financial journey and in your bank, all you got to do is visit firstmerchants.com to learn how they can help support you and your family as well. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper. Member FDIC.
feedback, mostly Michigan fans, but we do have the perspective of some Spartans. Open lines 248-539-9797. How will this Michigan basketball team be remembered? Yak says, yeah, you can call us mercenaries. We also play hard, and we're one of the greatest teams in all of college basketball. John Beeline on our station yesterday, our show, said, best team in decades. That was before they went out and secured the national title.
I think it's one of those teams where you're going to look and say it's great leadership as well. I'm not talking about Dusty May. I'm talking about leadership amongst the players. And this is what you get when you have more veteran players, not just at the school, but guys that are third or fourth or fifth year guys. Because one of, I think, a great trait of a leader is being selfless. That you don't care if one guy gets all the praise on one night, another guy gets a praise the other night. Like the entire goal is that, hey, you outscore all your opponents in as many games as possible and you win a championship. And when you win, and this was something that we talked about when I was at Michigan, when you win, there's enough for everyone.
Different leading scorer each of the last 3 tournament games, right? I believe Yaks, then Mara, and then last night was Cadeau.
Well, against Arizona, Yaks play 5 minutes?
Yeah, well, he got hurt. He was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
And Mara ended up damn near 30 points against a team that was supposed to provide all the size that could handle Michigan. 248-539-9797. Let's get to Pete in Chesterfield. Pete, good morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pete, I think you're going underwater here.
Yeah.
We're going to have to put you on hold.
We're losing you there, yeah.
But he was getting on about this team. You could say they hadn't faced adversity, but ... I mean, some of that is if you blow everybody out, that shows how dominant you are. And,
right.
And the adversity last night was they didn't hit a shot outside the paint until like the second half.
Yeah, it's not a requirement that you win 6 games by a single point to be qualified to win a national title.
Right.
Well, I think one of the retention things is like, I remember talking with my friend about they don't look the same since LJ Kayson went down. Mm-hmm. And then in the Big Ten championship game, I also hear, Raft and I and Eagle talking about, well, this Michigan team needs to face adversity. So it was like, well, what's one or the other? Like if you look like you're struggling now it's like you're not the same without LJ Kayson.
Well, think about it. They said on the bracket reveal this team's vulnerable because of that injury. They would go on to win 5 straight games by double digits and then play UConn, make 2 outside shots seemingly all game, and lead the whole way.
And I think that Iowa game was a bit telling. Like I don't know if it was John who said like, did they play a game like this earlier in the season? I think the Iowa game probably would qualify. Iowa kind of tried to muck it up with their defense. They were really physical. And then Michigan had to win kind of a grinder out in Iowa City.
How about this crazy stat? This is from the ticket text. Michigan didn't hit a jump shot until there were 14 minutes left in the game, and they were still leading at the time. Yeah, I think when they made their first 3, it put them up 11.
Yeah.
Let's get to Sebastian. You're in Sterling Heights. Good morning. You're on 97.1.
That's good. How you doing? Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. So they finished the year with 8 wins over the top 15 teams in the country. 7 of those were double digits. The only one that wasn't was UConn last night.
Yeah.
A night where they weren't shooting well and still won.
Because you discoed it.
Yeah, it's because I ruined that stat.
That's the only reason why.
Well, people did say, the true greatness of this team is they overcame a disco.
Yeah. I mean, that's something the Lions couldn't even do.
You'd have got the Costa lock if UConn didn't have that 3 off the backboard.
I know.
That was the one that was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What is their legacy? Bought team. That will be their legacy. Another says, congrats to all the 6 Michigan fans who knew they had a basketball team before this season.
So hey, Brendan, did Michigan buy a championship?
They paid for their roster, right?
I just asking a question, yes or no.
I answered it with a question.
Michigan basketball, best team money could buy. Here's the thing. You don't have to run from it as you're a Michigan fan. Like, this is people lashing out because they're mad because they're not doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And
Best team money could buy. All these transfers, they're mercenaries. And they did what you're supposed to do.
And they are crowned national champs.
And that is their legacy as well. We'll read more of your feedback next, 97.1.
Brought to you by Northville Lumber. Michigan won the 2026 National Championship last night with a 69-63 win over UConn. Wasn't an easy win as the Wolverines appeared to be in trouble in the first half. Michigan didn't make a single three-pointer in the first 20 minutes. UConn held momentum early, but that all changed when Alex Garabin was called for a questionable hook and hold after Marez Johnson Jr. got his arm locked with the UConn senior. The flagrant foul gave Michigan 2 free throws and the ball, a 4-point swing that could have been as many as 7 as Michigan scored on the ensuing possession. The Wolverines would distance themselves by as many as 11 points in the second half as Elliot Cadeau made Michigan's first 3 nearly 27 minutes into the game. UConn cut it to a 2-possession game multiple times in the final 5 minutes, but Trey McKinney hit a dagger with 1:50 to go to give the Huskies, after the Huskies missed a golden opportunity on a steal, that would give Michigan enough cushion to hang on for the 6-point win and national crown. Dusty May told the Today Show this morning if what Michigan did is the new model in college sports. Tigers and Pistons also lost last night. The Tigers have Game 2 of their series in Minnesota tonight at 7:40. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Text flooding in. We're going to read some of the best ones. Talking Michigan, national champs. What's the legacy? John, is this the best champ we've ever had from the state of Michigan?
The best?
Mm-hmm. So I'm including the Flintstone Spartans. I'm including the 89 Michigan Wolverines basketball team. I'm including the 2024 Michigan football team and 1997 Michigan football team. How does this champ stack up among our other national champs?
It's hard to compare other sports. Now, I'll say it will probably come across as better than a 23 because there's no cloud over this. And if you're going to sit there and say, well, they're mercenaries, that's the cloud. Okay. I don't know that I am in a position to say that it's a better national championship than 97.
You actually are in a great position too. You can weigh in on it.
Because my judgment is clouded. Well, now I think there was anticipation that this team this year would be competing for a national title. Going into that 97 season, there was no one that thought that Michigan football team would be competing for a national title. So there's different intricacies. But if you're going to talk about the dominance that this basketball team had, then I mean, yeah, I think it would be debatable.
Yeah.
But
okay,
they dominated from start to finish.
Let's just start with basketball. Best basketball team that the state has seen? So the most recent comparable, you have to go back to Tom Izzo's title with the Flintstones. That team lost 7 games.
But I don't think you could just sit there and say it's just about the wins and the losses.
Okay. I mean, but how Michigan won those games? 29 wins by double digits. MSU only won 32 games that whole year. I think this team's better than that team. And I think this team's better than the 3 seed that won the 89 title with Michigan, too. And they're better than the Fab 5 teams who didn't win the title. I could say, can I just start with the state and say it's the best basketball team the state has produced?
Okay, but if you're going back to, like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's greater than the 79 team with Magic Johnson, because, again, it's one of those things where I didn't watch that team. Mm-hmm. They're playing by different rules in that era.
Yeah, but you're judged by how dominant you are in your era. So Michigan is playing in this era as dominantly as those teams, or more dominantly than those teams did in theirs. That would be my argument.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if that's what the only version of yes, this is the most dominant team throughout the course of a year, then you can make that argument.
Terry Mills to square up with the Yaks today. I mean, I don't know how else we're supposed to.
Right, I know that's the hard time. That's the hard part about making this comparison.
So some text coming in and just keeping the conversation moving. Texters. I hate people trying to say that this is a lovable group of cast-offs. This was the number 1 portal class in the country. Yaks, Johnson, Mara, they had NBA buzz before ever stepping foot in Ann Arbor. It's the most blatantly bought championship in all of sports history. That's their legacy. Another text, Johnny in Wixom, says, I think Michigan fans love this national title, but deep down inside, they don't, because there are 5 transfers and no one's a real Michigan recruit. Maybe John can help me understand if that's true or not, Johnny in Wixom.
Nope, I love this one. I don't know how else to say it. It's how the business of college athletics is done now. It is within the rules, and they maximized it.
Bought team, that's their legacy. The most impressive thing, they survived a Costa lock, KC in a car. Mm-hmm. Some Spartan fan perspective. We got 3 in a row here. I made sure to star them. I'm a state fan. I'm done watching college sports as a whole because I know my programs will never do what it takes to come close to competing in this landscape. What's the point of watching? I'm a 25-year-old Detroit sports and Michigan State fan. I've mentally accepted I'll never see a championship win from any of my teams. No one in the state that I root for has what it takes to get over the hump. And another says, I'm apathetic towards basketball as a state fan. I've accepted that Tom will not come close to getting his second. Never do what it takes.
It'll be interesting to see what the response is from Coach Izzo's program. Not just him, but his program, because I would never argue the competitive drive of Tom Izzo.
No, but it was an overreact, Jim. But it was after their first meeting this year. I said, I think Tom Izzo hates the portal more than he hates Michigan. He tolerates the portal. He's used it, but he's never fully embraced it and said, hey, I'm going to go get my best player or one of my leading scorers or 2 of my starters, let alone 4 or 5.
Yeah, but to sit there and watch what's going on in Ann Arbor,
now I wonder if that's changed.
How does that change his thinking?
Does that change where he's like, I still don't like the portal, but damn it, I hate Michigan so much more that, yeah, you know what, fine. Here's a briefcase. Come play for us.
I mean, they have the financial backing.
I know, that's the thing. And you don't think Izzo can stir up some extra money from donors? The guy walks on water in East Lansing. If he wants to, they'll get the money. And it's in Detroit this year. Boy, would I love to see that. Dusty gets right back in the portal. Izzo's right there with them. They got 2 great freshman classes coming in. They stack 2 elite portal classes, and they go collision course at Ford Field.
Yeah.
Like, I know I take my shots at Izzo. I would rather him embrace it to give us that.
It is going to be interesting to see what his response will be.
I love hearing Brendan whine on the radio. Keep talking about our championship. It's lighting up my day.
Yeah, I know. I did love that he put in there the very controversial hook and hold.
It was obvious.
Do we need to poke him at 9 o'clock?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know. Are you?
Greg, Greg went
there. Are
there.
you a poker or a prodder? Which is worse? Poking or prodding?
Let us know on the ticket This team is not better than the Flintstones or the 79 teams. Take your Walmart vest off. Another says the 89 team was better. They would kick this team's ass.
All right, look, I love the 89 Michigan team. I absolutely adore that team. This team would beat that team. That team is a classic. We got hot. They got the motivation from the Frieder leaving for ASU.
Yeah.
And Glenn Rice threw a team on his back and still holds a tournament record with 184 points in a tournament, which is astonishing consider how the more prolific the three has become.
Yeah.
That team gelled at the right time, but they lost by 16 points in their last regular season game to Illinois at home. This team doesn't have a loss on their resume like this. And in fact, and Greg confirmed it with me, we did get the text that tipped me off on this. This Michigan team finished with the second highest Ken Pom ranking of all time. That says something. Ken Pom might be one of the greatest stats that you can look at in sports that define success.
And I think their point differential throughout the tournament, 114 point differential, is the highest point differential in any tournament run.
Now, I think this Michigan team versus the Flintstones debate would be a fun debate.
Yeah, someone points out they won every game by double digits on their run to the title.
I think this Michigan team would beat them, but it would be tight.
Can we do a quick thought exercise here? I'm just springing this on you guys. I have ESPN's list of some of the best college basketball teams of all time. I don't want to go through all 25. I just want to start at 10, and you tell me if this Michigan team is better than them, okay? Their number 10 team is the 02 Maryland Terrapins. Juan Dixon, national champs, 32-4, 15-1 in the ACC. Is this Michigan team better?
I think that game would be a toss-up. I really do. I don't have a strong opinion on that one. That team going 15-1 in the ACC.
Yeah. Number 9 was the Baylor Bears from 2021.
This team wins.
I think so too. Number 8 is the Flintstones. Number 7 is the 05 Tar Heels team.
I think Michigan beats that team.
04 Huskies were their number 6 team. The 07 Gators. Was that the second consecutive national title? That team's probably better. The 99 Blue Devils, 16-0 in the ACC, 37-2.
They didn't win the Natty.
No, they didn't.
That's like the 07 Patriot argument.
Right.
They've got the 2012 Kentucky Wildcats. That was the Anthony Davis, 38-2, perfect in the SEC, national champs. The 01 Blue Devils are number 2, and the 99 Huskies, they put number 1. Subjective, you could argue some other teams should be in there. I just thought it was interesting to see where Michigan would stack up.
Really quick on the 07 Florida thing, I don't think they are better than this Michigan team. I think they get credit for winning 2 in a row.
Maybe.
Well, let's see next year.
I mean, Michigan's, by the way, you want to know the betting favorite for next year's national title?
Oh.
It's Michigan Wolverines.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how many guys come back.
I know, it's impossible to say pre-portal.
How about this Michigan Walmart Wolverine troll knock on the Flintstones? They beat an 8 seed and a 5 seed in the Final Four.
How about they lost to Wright State in November?
Greg just compounded it.
Good morning. This is Susie in Manchester. Michigan earned that natty. Bought team, ? They followed the rules like other teams could have. These men deserve the title. Michigan finished the season with the second highest Ken Pom in history. You can hate me now, forever national champs. Steve? Stay fan here saying anybody who says this team was bought, that's a lazy take. All teams can spend in the portal. Good win. They were the best team and deserved it. Aren't all teams bought in the NIL era? That's Jeff in Emley City. Sorry that Michigan was the only team to spend money on transfer players. I'm pretty sure every team did as well, from another unnamed texter.
Yeah, and some of those that spent the most didn't even make the Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Later this hour, we have, this will be good. Heather, surprises gone wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
8:35, tried to surprise the kids, went wrong. We'll get to that. We also, by the way, have a father who took his kid to the game last night. We'll get that call next if he hangs on. 9 o'clock hour, a chance to win Red Wing tickets and John's advice for Red Wing fans. It's 97.1.
Hey, we're at that time of year. It's furnace, it's AC. It's furnace, it's AC. And if they're not getting the job done, do what I did and call the team at Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Mastercraft has 24/7 emergency service, and they back their work with a 5-year warranty. Their early spring special is if you buy a new furnace or AC, you're going to get half off installation. And if you're tired of the power outages, they've got generators in stock ready to install as well. Financing is available. You can schedule your free in-home estimate, and you can do it at mastercraftheating.com.
We'll get right to the phones. Want to know how this team will be remembered. Dave and LaSalle, you'll remember it fondly. You were there. Good morning.
Are you calling in from Indy, or are you on your way home right now? Oh. Oh.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're a good dad. Hey, tip of the cap to you. I'm sure you were probably riding high. It wasn't that big of a deal to drive home last night because emotionally you were riding high. Yeah.
How old is your son, and what did he think of it?
Some inexplicable reason, Boban was just standing there taking pictures with everybody as we walked in. So my son ended up getting a picture with him. So that was an awesome experience for him as well.
He'll have those memories forever.
That's amazing.
That's such
So
a
will
good
you.
dad move.
Yeah, so will you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
That's so cool.
I love that move. I mean, it's not that different than Tom, that surprise you pulled for that Tiger playoff game where you took your family to the Guardians game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was that's magical. I still don't believe that happened.
It's funny that he says, yeah, he was driving home last night after the game with 50,000 Michigan fans. Lucy was home for the weekend. She obviously is not going to Indianapolis, but Purdue is only, 45 minutes west of there. So she was on her way back yesterday, and she said that the highways were just flooded with Michigan fans. You could tell the flags were flying and, stickers in the windows, license plates. Like she said, it was just a complete highway straight to Indy.
Anybody stop at that fudge place?
Oh, the Uranus? No, but she does. This is good parenting. Because she travels that highway every time she goes, to or from home. She sends me a picture of that billboard every single time.
Is that right off Interstate 69?
It is. Yes. That's where Uranus is.
She's your daughter.
Yeah.
Gotta get a pic of Uranus to send my dad. That's her.
Because she knows as soon as it shows up, Lisa's going to have to be the one that deals with it because all the jokes come out every single time.
Text coming in. It's the most dominant championship team in Michigan sports history. I understand they're a great team, but they really should be in the G League. And another says, hey, if you're calling this team bought, you're just a hater because your team couldn't do what they did. That's Johnny D.
I don't even feel the need to respond to those because it doesn't trigger me like some other comments about other championship teams that we've had. It's within the rules. They didn't break any rules.
No.
They didn't bend any rules. They utilized every tool in their toolbox, and they ended up in a national championship.
When Cookies Costa locked the game, I thought the worst. Valeni said yesterday if the Wolverines lost, Costa should be fired. No more locks or discos. Go blue, Philip at work.
So close.
I did hear him say that yesterday.
That's great.
You did have a disco that's right. Probably.
Probably. Assuming the Wings don't make it, that'll be the
TBD.
first disco that hits.
They're going to get 10 out of 10 points and make it.
Yeah.
Make that
I would
disco
love
run.
it.
They're only 2 back.
John does have advice for Wings
Yes.
fans. That's at 9:35. Chance to win tickets in the 9 o'clock hour. It's not a threat.
No. Just I think it's very common sense. But I am going to give you some permissions.
No, I was saying the tickets aren't a threat.
Oh, no.
They play tonight against the Blue Jackets. You win those tickets in the final hour of the show with us today. Let's get to Kyle and Canton. Kyle, good morning.
Hey, go blue, boys.
You got it.
Hey, just wanted to say, I mean, for everyone that's talking about this being a purely transfer portal bought team, I mean, I felt that, and my son loves McKinney, and he had a critical game. It may not be the most glamorous sports stats, but, I mean, 9 points, 8 rebounds, I think only second to Johnson, and had some critical free throws at the end, and also only hit the second three-pointer we made all game. He's a freshman from Flint. So I thought he played a critical role as far as non-transfer portal players off the bench.
Yeah, you know what? He's had moments like that throughout the second half of the season where he has come through at a critical moment to hit a three or to hit a big shot.
Coming into last night, he was shooting 62% in the tournament and over 50% from three. Now, it was not his finest shooting night, but he had a couple big-time shots.
Yeah.
Including the three that I thought kind of put the game on ice. Now, UConn was going to push and press until the very end, but McKinney hit one of their only 2 threes.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that has said he's committed to coming back next year.
How about this last stat for you? And I've seen this start to make the rounds on social media. In the history of the NCAA tournament, John, teams are 1-50 all time when they're held under 70, shoot under 40 from the field, under 15 from three, and get out-rebounded. The only team to overcome that, last night's Michigan Wolverines. You were just handed a piece of paper?
Yeah, some text messages about pictures that kids may send their parents.
Yeah.
I mentioned that Lucy always does that, and I kind of do it every time I go by exit 69 on 75. I always take a picture and send it to my buddies. Every time I drive by Climax on my way to Kalamazoo, I take a picture and send it to my brother. It's always great. How about Big Bone Lick State Park in Kentucky off I-75? Yep, I've been there.
I'm sorry, it's called what?
Yeah, we take pictures every time. Big Bone Lick State Park.
Big Bone Lick?
Yes, I can confirm that exists. Go to the news.
Let's get to Heather with the news.
Fascinating. Hey, if you're looking for a diverse array of lunch options, the popular Downtown Street Eats food truck season is officially underway in the heart of downtown Detroit. So on Monday, the 14th season of food trucks and carts at Cadillac Square began. So from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, you can go down. There's going to be a rotating lineup of 80 food trucks and carts that will be parked at Cadillac Square. This is the largest weekly food truck event in Michigan, drawing more than 2,500 people per day. And you can find basically any type of food you're looking for.
Yep.
Asian, Cajun, Italian, Mexican, the list goes on and on and on. And you can check out the whole lineup, the food truck lineup online.
Love food trucks.
Yes. Taylor police are investigating an Easter Sunday shooting and are now asking the public for help. So on April 5th, just before 9 p.m., police responded to a shooting at the Ponds Townhomes. This is near Eureka and Inkster Roads. And they say when they got there, they found a person with a gunshot wound to the chest. That person was taken to a local hospital, is listed in stable condition. So that's good. Apparently, an argument broke out literally at Easter dinner, and that's what prompted the shooting. The shooter has been identified, 25-year-old Joshua Obi. He left the area before police arrived and is considered armed and dangerous. So anybody with information is now asked to contact the Taylor Police Department. The Masters. It's not just your golf game that's being judged, it's also your outfits too, right? So a year after being asked by Augusta National to keep his outfits more reserved at the Masters, Jason Day is already ruffling some feathers with his clothing choices this week. So he's been asked to make some alterations. So he showed up in this kind of bold, I mean, not super bold, but a bold bird-themed outfit. It's all part of a collaboration with Melbourne Golf, and officials stopped him before it got a little too far. He was originally planning on wearing a matching bird print pants with the top.
Okay.
But they said, hey, you know what? Can you just switch it to solid colors instead? So he went with solid color pants with this bird print shirt. And this isn't new. We've heard this before. We all know what the Masters is about. Over the past couple of years, this player in particular has been repeatedly asked to kind of tone things down. And he says, I'm cool with it. I understand. Yeah, it's really nothing wild.
Yeah.
It's not that, I mean,
Looks like it fits in the golf world.
it looks very outdoorsy.
Yeah.
He says he's cool with it. He understands and respects the history of the event. So there's a story out of Los Angeles that's going viral, and it's hitting a nerve with a lot of longtime sports fans.
Oh.
So there's this 81-year-old Dodgers season ticket holder. He says he's been going to games for more than 50 years, but now he might be done, and it's all because of technology. So the team recently moved to fully digital tickets, right? Like a lot of teams are doing, meaning there's no more printed versions. And that's a problem for this fan because he doesn't own a smartphone, doesn't really know how to use a computer at all. And the team is refusing to present him with printed tickets for the entire season. And he's refusing to go to games until they do. So he missed opening day for the first time in decades because of it. And he says he did try to do like a little experiment. He went to the ticket counter or the box office, right? To get 4 tickets to a single game. And they presented him with paper printed tickets. So he said, okay, so they can physically print a ticket for me. Why not just print them all for the entire season? They won't do that. So his son is going to go in his place.
Okay.
I mean, for those older generations who don't have a smartphone, who can't go home and print, a lot of people can go home and print. If they don't have a smartphone, they can at least print something.
Yeah.
I mean, he could maybe go to a library and ask for help and have some tickets printed.
I suppose so.
You know, like there's got to be a way he could do it, but
Get his
it's
QR code printed.
The concept of it, I think that's bothering him the most. The principle of it.
Sure, but is this really only an issue for him?
It's a very small percentage of the population.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why not just make an exception? Because then you have to make an exception for every single person that can't print.
Yeah, or if the one person can't figure it out, someone else will go in their place.
Yeah. Somebody will help him.
Yeah. Like you said, figure it out.
His son's going. That's what's happening.
It's Heather with the news. All right, more of Heather coming up next. The surprise gone wrong. It's 97.1.
Here's what I love about Planet Fitness. They're open, and it fits my lifestyle. They're open when I need them to be. Sometimes I want to work out at 3:30 in the morning on the way into the studio. Sometimes I want to work out later in the afternoon or even in the evening. They just offer something that fits everyone's lifestyle. And sometimes it's just location. If you want to have access to every single location, you got to explore the Black Card membership because you get access to 2,800 clubs nationwide, access to the Black Card Spa. There's so much that it offers right now. 1 cent, 1 penny down, and $15 a month gets you in the door. And once you walk in, you're going to find out, hey, it's a welcoming place. They greet you every single time. It's clean. Locker rooms are clean. Equipment is clean. They have the 30-minute workout. There is something for everyone, whether it's cardio, it's strength. They're always updating their gyms and their equipment. And you can find your nearest club and join today. You can do it in club, online, or on the free Planet Fitness app. We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
It's Dusty May talking about last night, Michigan national champs, and he's right. Mercenaries, sure, they had 5 transfers in the starting 5, but they didn't play like 5 individuals. They were a dominant team all season long. And they're the first, John. They won't be the last to start 5 transfers and win a national title. People don't have to like it, right? From a school that was those who stay will be champions. Now it's those who left became champions. But that is the new world order. And you get credit for embracing it. And other teams are going to keep doing it. We'll talk more about Michigan in the 9 o'clock hour, plus John's advice for Red Wing fans. Heather, surprise gone wrong.
I'm hoping other people can share their stories so that I'm not the only one. And I know with kids, you never quite know what to expect. But we had a big surprise for them. It seemed like a really big surprise. Colin and I are really excited about it. So we were so excited to tell the kids. We're taking a trip to Florida soon. And while the whole trip is not going to be at Disney, we decided because we're flying in and out of Orlando, why not make a stop there? I know the kids are young, but Emily is like right at like, she loves the princesses, right? She loves the movies. And Brooks is learning characters too. He's still pretty little, but he's also free at this point. So we're like, okay, we don't have to pay for him to get into the park. Let's do one day at the Magic Kingdom before we fly home. So that's what we're doing. We've got everything booked. We've got the character meals booked.
Do you have your autograph book?
Not yet, but we're going to get one and get some fun markers for her to be able to pick out what markers they sign the book with. So we hadn't told them yet because it literally was just recently finalized. But we thought, you know what? Let's tell them and let's also kind of show them what Disney is. Because I think if we were just to tell them, like, we're going to Disney World, they'd be like, okay.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, they have no idea. So we showed them a video of Disney World. And during the video, very excited. Emily was like, we kind of built it up like, wouldn't it be cool if we could go on that ride? Yeah, like the teacups. Yeah, I want to do that. So then after the video ended, Colin and I told them, we have a surprise for you. Okay? We were so excited. And I had this shirt, a shirt from my childhood that had Minnie on it that I'm like, I'm going to give it to Emily. It's going to fit her now. She can wear it there. I got a t-shirt for Brooks with a little Mickey Mouse on it. Instantly, that was not the surprise is obviously going to Disney, but I presented the shirts and they were like, meh, I don't want that. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's tell them we're going to the park. And this is how it went. And it turned into, we ended the camera because then it turned into tears. There were tears
There
shed.
was nothing tangible. The
There was
surprise,
no surprise.
didn't materialize.
And Brooks kept saying, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. So we were very
He's a Toys R Us
defeated.
kid.
Oh my gosh. So it didn't go as planned. Like we were so excited. And then it just turned into fussy tears and complaining.
John, you're right. They wanted something in their hands.
Oh, yeah. They wanted something very tangible. You said it was a surprise.
I did.
And
in hindsight,
wait, when are we going? I have no concept of time.
I understand that. And as a 4-year-old, I get when you say there's a surprise, you want like candy or a toy, right? Like you want something you can play with. And maybe I should have presented it like that. Or maybe I didn't even need to tell them. And we just show up the day of Disney and they'd be surprised there.
But you were caught off guard. You thought they were going to eat this
Oh
up.
my gosh. That's why we were filming it, because they're going to go crazy because they've talked about it. Like when we watch the Disney movies and the castle shows up, like Brooks has even said like, oh, he points out Mickey and is like, rah. So they know the character. So I thought they were going to be like, whoa. And it was
the day you go, they'll be all about it.
She is now. She talks about it more and who the princesses she'll see and what we're going to do. But did not go as planned. So has anybody ever had a surprise not go the way you were hoping it would go?
I had one very similar. We told the kids, and this is when the older 4 were, I think Lucy was 8, Ruby was 7, and then it was, 5 and 4 or whatever. And Jack was the youngest. And we told them, and Lucy and Ruby were like, Oh, I've wanted to go my entire life. I'm like, oh yeah, all of 7 years.
Exactly.
It's such a dramatic moment. And Jack was the same thing. Like, okay, where's my surprise? Like I need something in my hands right now. And it was, has no concept of what we're going to go in a month.
No, and they also don't get that when we're going. They don't get the concept of time.
Yeah.
But
Teddy wakes up every day and says, hey, it's time for us to pack our bags. Oh, yeah, where are we going? Well, we're going to Disney. And we're supposed to make a trip too, but it's not for we're going over Mother's Day.
So how was it the first time he went? Because he's gone before, right?
Oh, yeah, Teddy's been there, 3 or 4 times. The first time he was a blob.
Oh, he was just a baby.
Yeah, and it was just, it was basically us. He was a blob. I was a year and a half. So he's, but he loves all of the sounds, the lights, everything. There's so much going on. He's mesmerized the entire time until he crashes, and then
Sure.
we all
Just
crash.
to be expected.
How long did this tantrum go?
Not long, but I know then eventually my reaction, because I was so disappointed that they were not as excited as I am. I'm still very excited. It went for a little while, and then eventually we have a snack and they're over it, right? Like they get over things quickly.
Heather, we did the same and maybe set our expectations too high for when they meet the characters in person too. If it's anything like our trip, the kids were terrified.
Oh no. And we have talked about this, Colin and I, that this could not go at all the way we envision it. And I tend to do that. Like I build things up and it plays out like a movie in my brain. Like, this is going to be awesome. But I know Brooks might be too scared to ride any of the rides. I know they might not like the characters, that might not even want to see them. And he could have a major meltdown and it could just be not a great experience.
Right. So when Teddy goes, like last year, he was, 3.5, but he was tall enough to ride all the rides. Yet there were some, like he only wanted to do what a 3-year-old would do.
Right.
And so, and here's the thing too, is you're going to be able to take pictures with all the characters, and they'll have somebody there to take pictures because you're going to have to be in them. At least mine wouldn't go up. Like, the Easter Bunny, Teddy would sit next to him, but he still wouldn't look at him.
I'm very curious to how they'll react, because they do love the Easter Bunny, but they don't love Santa. Is it
Hit or miss.
is it the
Depends on the
character in a
character,
full costume, or is it the human characters? But she's also met Elsa before at a birthday party and loved Elsa, so we shall see.
The last time we went to Disney World, we didn't tell our kids. We packed up the van and just started driving. They kept asking, where are we going? And we told them we're on the run from the law. Before arriving at Disney.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, the Popo's after us.
Someone says, I live in Tampa. I don't want to go to Disney World. The traffic on I-4 is pure hell. That's from Dennis. You spend all that money on your kids and they get more excited about a cardboard box and a pile of dirt.
Isn't that true?
Oh, it is at the holidays, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're not, you understand they're little, but you're not doing like a whole weekend or a whole week. This is just while you're passing through.
Because we're flying in and out of Orlando, we just kind of thought, let's just give it a whirl. We're doing one day. We're not doing a whole Disney trip. That's not the point of our trip. But Emily is at the age where she's really excited about princesses and the Disney movies. So we just kind of, for her, I think it's going to be a sweet spot. For Brooks, he's too little. He's a toddler, but we'll see how it goes.
Is Colin tall enough to ride all the rides?
We shall see. We shall see. I know a lot of the ones at the Magic Kingdom don't require a height requirement. So
there you go.
He'll be good.
You got some advice, some response. We got phone calls to get to. We want to know about your surprises gone wrong. We'll get back into Michigan Hoops at 9 o'clock. It's 97.1.
Hey, if you're thinking about a new truck this month, and why wouldn't you? A Ram truck should be at the top of your list. I've seen the Ram side by side with the competition, and I've driven a Ram. I love it. The Ram truck deals at your Metro Detroit dealer this month are phenomenal. For power, it's not much of a competition. You could choose from Ram's award-winning Pentastar V6 or Ram's legendary 5.7-liter Hemi V8. And why on the competition side would you trust any full-size pickup at any price with only a 4-cylinder engine? Try and pass somebody on the highway. Not going to work. Definitely don't try and pass somebody if you're towing something. The full-size Ram 1500 is built right here in Sterling Heights. And for comfort and easy-use technology, quite honestly, nothing beats a Ram. Ram also offers a 5-link coil suspension. All it's going to take is one test drive, and you will feel how smooth the Ram is. Right now, lease payments on a new Ram truck are exceptional, and their financing offers so are the financing offers for well-qualified buyers. Pull into any Ram dealer and do me a favor, just start one. You're going to hear and feel the difference.
Nine o'clock hour, a chance to win Red Wing tickets for tonight's game. We'll have tickets all week for this homestand. John, with advice for Red Wing fans at 9:35. Get back into the national champs. Wrap up our conversation about surprises. Heather, you had such good intentions.
I'm super pumped. They are too. They just don't know it yet. because they've never experienced it.
She said, hey, we're going to Disney.
Woohoo!
They don't know what Disney is.
We did show them a video.
Right, but they don't know
No,
what they're
they don't.
in for.
They've never been there, so they have no idea.
Connecting the dots. Once they've been there, the future trips, whenever that might be, if it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, if it's next year, whatever
Yeah.
it is, now all of a sudden,
Sure.
when you tell them, it completely
it.
changes the game.
They wanted to be handed something. So
Yes.
instead, you got a very negative reaction to, we're going to Disney.
Where's the surprise?
Where is the surprise? First time at Disney was a nightmare. Kids cried and were super scared of the characters. Awful and wasted so much money and traumatized our kids from an unnamed text.
That's a memory that'll last a lifetime, though.
Make calendars to cross off the days and let them know
Yes.
you're counting down to it.
I like that idea.
Sounds like Heather's trying to force what she wants to do on her kids. Bridezilla checks out.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
come on. Get over it. That's a terrible text.
That's a bad text.
No, I don't really. I mean, I'm excited to go
Right,
to Disney
you're doing
now,
it because you think they're going to like
but
it.
that's not how I want to spend my vacation.
Yeah, no.
But we're excited to take the kids.
To show them. It says, before our trip to Disney, I brought my kids to a US PBL game. They have the princesses and characters. It was kind of a test run to make sure they weren't scared. They weren't. And then I loved telling them they'd get to see even more at Disney.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Let's get to the phones. Jerry, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
How you doing, Jerry?
Good. I got some advice for Heather. Do not get those signature books.
Okay.
The first time we took our kids, they were so interested in getting all the characters' signatures that we weren't able to enjoy the park. All we did was chase around characters. We ended up going the next day for us to all enjoy the park, because the first day all I wanted to do was see the
Get
characters.
autographs.
If you want to see a lot of characters at the same time, though, sign up for one of those luncheons or whatever.
We did.
You get to see about 6 or 7 characters at
Yeah,
the same time.
it's very different
don't let 'em-
than when
Yeah.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
So we're
my
in-
kids were a little older, but all they want to do is chase around the characters the first day. I need Goofy's signature. I need Mickey's signature and stuff. And then like the princesses were all in their own areas, so we had to go for my daughters to go there. So think twice about getting those autograph books.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know it's very different than when I was a kid. Characters were just always out and about.
Right. Well,
And it
they
was
still
easy-
are.
But aren't they out at like certain times, and you use the app to see where they're going to be and what time they're going to be out, and then you know when to get in line? And
Yes, you could be much more efficient now.
Yes.
Instead of just chasing them around the park. Every once in a while, you'll see one walking around. But yeah, and I recommend doing the autograph book, but only put one per page, so that on the opposite side of that page, you could put a picture of the kids
cute.
with the autograph, so
That's
that they have,
cute.
because they're going to save it, and then they look at it in 5 or 6 years. They'll be like, well, who was this signature?
Right, who
but if
does
they
that
have that
say?
picture on the opposite page, now it seals the
John,
deal.
that's cute.
Smart. How about this text that kind of combines John and Heather crossover? It says, I had field passes for a game at Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Dan in Ypsilanti says, I brought my 5-year-old. I told him I had a surprise. 10 minutes after being on the field, he looked at me and said, where's my surprise?
You're living it.
This is it.
Yeah, I know. The first time I took the kids to a Michigan-Ohio State game, I kind of did the same thing. I'm like, hey, you guys are going to go to the game. And Lucy and Ruby were like kind of 8 or 9 years old. And they're like, a football game? I'm like, no, it's not just any football game. It's the game. So, yeah, they know the difference now.
Some people trying to give you tips for Disney with little kids. Says we did Disney last fall. The character meals were the worst food and a total waste. I would steer clear.
No.
I've never had a bad meal at Disney.
Said $400 for a family of 5, and the kids hated the food.
Well, we have only 3 that we have to pay for. Brooks is still free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of
I'm
them
not
are
going there
buffets.
and it is a buffet. I'm not like expecting like,
Never been to a bad buffet.
I don't know. It all looks like food they would eat. That's
Yeah.
why we chose this buffet in particular, because it's waffles and eggs and bacon and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Pastries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
One text says, I drove by Big Bone Lick on my way to Nashville. I was going to stop, but the line was too long.
Yeah, all of Ruby's basketball teammates' parents are texting me right now because every time you go down to Louisville, sooner or later you see it.
Yeah. We got Brendan Shabath in studio for his update here.
Oh, let's see how he could disparage the national championship this time. The questionable hook and hold.
People have pointed out you're kind of salty today.
Duh, for one. I mean, what did you expect? Sometimes I'm just amazed at some of the texts that come through. I really haven't heard many. I heard one that said that they love hearing me whine. Whatever. I thought it was a questionable hook and hold. I mean, full transparency. I've probably watched, even as a Michigan State fan, more Michigan basketball than anybody calling or texting in this season. And
wow.
It's just it's what they've done it all year, and to their credit, it has worked for them. Whether you think that's moral or ethical or fun to watch, it's your call. But
what's worked for them?
I think I've seen more hook and holds called against Michigan opponents this year than I'll ever see in the rest of my life.
Well,
and many of them in my mind are just guys trying to get the call, and it's part.
Well,
of,
I don't like the hook and hold call to
game
begin with, but I see it all across college basketball. They do call it.
Yeah, just it's. I think Michigan legitimately had like 6 or 7 called in their favor this year, and it's the game within the game. I get it. I don't like it.
It's a weird thing to be hung up on.
Well, it changes the game in the first half entirely.
Did the better team win?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want
Are they better
make sure
than
we're
State?
watching the same game.
No, never.
They're not better than State.
See, now he's trolling us.
It's a hill I'll die on.
You were there.
You're dead.
Oh, yeah. Just trampling over you at this point.
General Custer over here at the update desk. No, I thought the hook and hold was a really big play in the first half. It was just I knew as soon as it happened it was over because Michigan misses the 3, UConn gets the rebound, and it's called on the rebound. Theoretically, UConn could go down and score a 2 or a 3 and go up 6 or 7, or a 4 or 5, and instead Michigan makes both free throws, ties it, and then makes the bucket.
Should Michigan have also gotten the 10-second half-court violation?
Yes. It goes both ways. I think the hook and hold. The 10-second violation is not a doubt. The hook and hold is a judgment call, though. I also don't like the coaching staff complaining about it and asking for it, which they've done all year long, and is within the right
to challenge.
But then the referee's going, at the official's discretion, we're going to look at it. No, you're not. It's not your discretion.
It's because it was
Dusty May just begged for it.
He wanted it
like he's done all year long,
and he was wise to do so.
Beg for anything.
It works absolutely.
He was wise to do so.
Are you sure you're not Brandon instead of Brennan?
I don't get the joke.
You know the whole Brandon thing, like Karen.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that what we call male Karens? Brandon?
Oh, they're Brandons?
Remember that?
Oh, are they?
I know. Is that what they
I've
call
never
them?
heard that.
Oh my
I've
gosh,
never heard
you
that
guys.
either.
I thought it was like Ken. Karen and Ken?
Ken?
I think that's the Barbie.
Hey, text us in. What is the male Karen? We'll collect those in the background. It's 97.1.
Brought to you by Moran Buick GMC. Michigan men's basketball won the 2026 national championship last night over UConn 69-63 with 19 points and an 8-for-9 performance at the free throw line. Elliot Cadeau was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four as he steadied Michigan through a low-scoring game, and he was very proud of himself in the post-game presser. Michigan's 37 wins this season tied 2024 UConn for the most by a title winner since Kentucky won 38 games in 2012. Red Wings have a big game tonight over on WWJ News Radio 950. They host the Columbus Blue Jackets at LCA at 7 o'clock as both teams are tied with 88 points right now. 2 points out of the last wildcard spot, which is currently possessed by Ottawa. They host Tampa tonight. Pre-game coverage of tonight's game starts on WWJ at 6:45. We've got the Tigers here on 97.1 this evening. They have game 2 against the Twins after losing last night. It's Tarek Skubal versus Taj Bradley on the mound tonight. Our pregame show begins at 7:15. And for the golf fans, tickets are officially on sale for the 2026 Rocket Classic today. You can grab yours at rocketclassic.com at a lower price than last year. Right now, it's about $31 to get in. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 971theticket or Odyssey.com.
We have Red Wing tickets to give away for tonight's game against the Blue Jackets. Despite the losses, the season's not over, mathematically. You want to win those tickets? Listen this hour. You want to listen for a drop of my voice saying, Dan Hurley does cocaine. When you hear that, you call in, you win your pair of tickets for tonight's matchup. For tickets and event info, visit nhl.com/Red Wings.
When did you say that?
Stoney was being weird and beating around the bush. And how many lines away are we from saying Dan Hurley does cocaine?
Well, I guess it depends on how many lines he's doing.
I'd made the point that yesterday when I woke up, there was precipitation outside my house, which I described as hail. And Stoney, needing to say and confirm the punchline of the illusion, said, "Oh, like hail to the victors," and then went on to say, "Yeah, where I was, there was some snow."
And we're like, what does that have to do with anything?
And he's like,
the Huskies.
unless it has nothing to do with anything, unless players are in the back doing snow.
You know, the very awkward Stoney. We're all just like, I looked at Greg. I go, I don't know what you want me to say. I want to see how far he'll go. How close are we to saying Dan Hurley does cocaine?
And that's not the drop.
That is not the drop. Stop calling in, people.
Stop. That was not the drop. That was a live me saying it. Do not call yet.
He had that moment, and he also was not. He was very upset with Amari Stoudemire getting in the college or in the basketball Hall of Fame.
In the last 5 minutes of the show, he just, you know what, Jim? What, Stoney? Amari Stoudemire shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Something that none of us care anything about.
It's like that episode of
Didn't even know he was in
Fresh Prince when they're playing the basketball team and Carlton's jealous and he rips the ball away from Will Smith and then fires up a brick at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about stuff people do care about. Your advice for Wings fans, second half of the hour. Let's begin the hour talking about the national champions. So last night, UConn played their kind of game. That was a sluggish, muck it up kind of style of basketball.
65 possessions in the game.
Which, by the way, Dan Hurley copped to one of the early media timeouts. This is the only way we can win this game. It has to be played at this tempo, this way. You need Michigan to miss some shots, and Michigan didn't make a shot outside the paint until the second half.
Michigan's previous 5 tournament wins were 71 possessions against Howard, 71 against St. Louis, 71 against Bama, 75 against Tennessee, and against Arizona, 78.
Right. Michigan can run and gun and shoot and score and still get all those stops along the way. Mm-hmm. When you condense the game, you make it possible for an underdog to get you. But to Michigan's credit, they led the entire second half despite missing every 3 in the first half.
Well, and it's what UConn did to Duke in the second half. They slowed things down, and all they wanted to do was be within a possession, to be within a miraculous 3-point shot of going in to win a game. And that was the concern all game long, is Michigan's not putting them away. They're not leading by double digits. They're, at times they were, but then it would get back to 3 or 4.
Yeah, barely.
And it was always felt like it was almost one possession away.
But what does it say when it's played at UConn's perfect tempo and style and Michigan is in control? Michigan just said, you know what, F it. We're going to bludgeon you at the rim. You want to play aggressive and pick up fouls? We'll just keep going to the rim. And we'll make our free throws. They made at one point 20 consecutive free throws in that game. But Michigan said, we could win without making a single 3. And they were playing that way. I mean, when Cadeau finally hit their first 3, it put them up, I believe it was 11 at the time. Now, UConn would not go quietly into the night. They made Michigan earn it, but Michigan absolutely did what Michigan was supposed to do, win this game.
Yeah, and it was, I know they kept making this whole point of Elliot Cadeau and Morez Johnson Jr. were the only ones to score up until about 10 minutes into the game, until I think Mara had, one of the pick and rolls, or maybe it was even a Yaks free throw.
One thing about the defense and how well Michigan played defense. Yes, we can look at the numbers, say 31% from the field, and what goes into that. So the challenge with playing UConn is that UConn is always moving. They're always running offense. It's screens, it's flares, it's cuts, it's dive to the basket, it's constant movement by everybody. And Michigan guarded all of those actions superbly. There was not a play that they left a wide open guy. Gosh, they blew an assignment.
No, there were
the guy's wide open. UConn did execute to get a few open shots. They made some of them. But for the most part, Michigan guarded the action with all of their switches, and there was no easy buckets for UConn.
No,
Right,
it's
it wasn't
UConn's
the
credit.
offense that won it. It was the defense that won this game.
Bingo. For a team that had scored 90 in every game, it was their defense that won them the game. UConn, look, they had to rely on a lot of second chance. To their credit, they scratched, they clawed, they had so many offensive rebounds. Michigan fans are going, what the hell, box out. We got to fight for these loose balls. That's who UConn is, though. They're going to get them. Let's spotlight Yaks, though. If you're going to talk defense, this is a guy who copped to it. He goes, I'm feeling really weak. I feel awful. Maybe a little too honest at halftime.
Yeah.
He played 36 minutes. He played more minutes of anybody on the team. And while his jumper wasn't going, he was pressing full court. He was closing out on shooters. He was noticeable on the defensive end of the floor while he wasn't 100%. That's gutting it out.
And he was attacking the basket. And even if it was a miss, I mean, we saw the famous putback, Roddy Gale Jr. going over top of a UConn player and dunking it for two. It just was, he was doing the things that he felt he needed to do at the time. And it wasn't forcing it so that he could get his. He was just there being a part of whatever it was, whatever the combination was on the court, it was 1 of 5.
Text says refs allowed Michigan to win the game. There's no argument. They took what could have been a great game and made sure the outcome would be decided. You want to address that?
I would disagree with that. I'll let Greg, because Greg's got the numbers to back it up.
So UConn is in the bottom quarter. They're in the 300s, ranked in Division I of offensive free throw rate and defensive free throw rate, meaning they do not get to the line often, but their opponents do get to the line often.
And this is a track record for the entire season.
Yeah,
correct.
18 fouls a game is their average. They had 22 last night. And some of that is, hey, you're trailing at the end, you pick up a couple trying to extend the game.
Yeah.
That was an in-character UConn game. That's how they play. They clutch, they grab, they swat, they foul, they
Hook and hold.
They hook and hold.
That was the most impressive thing about last night, though. They played the UConn blueprint. I mean, UConn forced Michigan to play the UConn game, and they still beat them.
They still won. But if you're UConn, like, when you're overwhelmed physically, you have to foul. And they did.
Well,
and I'm not, that was the wise game plan. But that style of game is what leads to Michigan getting to the free throw line, not the refs deciding anything.
And when Hurley was interviewed, I thought it was very important. I made note of it at the time. He didn't say, we have to make them play this style for us to win. He said, we have to make them play this style for us to have a chance at winning. Because he knew what he was up against.
And you know who didn't blame the refs after the game?
Hurley.
And he's famous for telling you all the things the refs are doing wrong during the game.
I thought I was surprised how transparent he was in that in-game interview.
Yeah.
It really was a backhanded way of saying,
I really respect this team.
yeah, like this is the best team in college basketball.
And he said it after the game. He goes, legit, they're clearly the best team in the country. This
Say
guy's
that-
won a couple national titles. He knows what he was going up against.
No, and I thought he coached a clinic actually last
Me
night.
too.
I think both coaches did.
Yeah, and UConn got back on defense. Michigan likes to run, likes to get those easy buckets, those transition opportunities, the huge outlet passes.
Yeah.
UConn got back on defense. So there wasn't that opportunity for Michigan to really push the pace from that respect, and you're not going to run bad offense and force up bad shots in the name of pace.
My God, is Brendan all right? What an incredibly salty way to talk about one of the best college basketball teams I've ever seen. Pure Cope, Logan, and Southfield. Was the hook and hold what held UConn to 31% from the floor? Your Cope tiers are perfect. Keep them coming. Wink in Royal Oak.
Is that where Wink is?
Male Karens are Richards, Dell in Detroit. No, I think that's something different. Chad is the male Karen.
Yeah, we got that one on Twitch
It's
right away.
Chad.
Yeah.
That's
The Brandon
it.
thing was something else. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man, not much sleep last night.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Everybody
for
can
any of us.
relate. Yeah. The hook and hold is definitely something Dusty coaches. He wants his players to draw them. MSU fans will find anything to complain about. Bunch of crybabies.
Hey, quickly, betonline.org just dropped the odds for next year.
Yeah.
Michigan and Michigan State are both 16-1 to win it all.
Interesting.
Okay.
Tied.
It's here in our backyard. Final Four is in Detroit. Let's get to Jeff in Riverview. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Actually, I'm in Florida, just almost passing Disney World. But in any case, my son is a student in Michigan, and he was at the Final Four, and he saw the championship, and he was in Houston for the football championship, too. So he's really living it up.
No kidding.
God, I wish I was one of our kids.
Yeah, he got student tickets. He was actually courtside in the Final Four. He said they were going for like $1,500. His ticket was like $50, but he couldn't sell them. They wouldn't allow it, but yeah, he was there. It was really good for him.
That's awesome. What a great experience.
Yeah, he's a Wolverine slappy. There's no question about it.
Well, he's a student there. He should be.
He should be. Now, Jeff, how will you remember this team? Like when 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you look back at it, what will you say about this team?
I think destiny, actually. Destiny.
It kind of felt inevitable. I mean, when they bombed Gonzaga by 40 in November, it's like, well, this team's capable of it for sure.
I think when they walked Arizona like they did, I thought it was going to happen. It was just going to happen.
Well, that was billed as, Battle of Titans, 1 seeds, top 2 teams in America. And, Michigan made that one look easy. That was a little throwback. Raymond in Sterling Heights, you're on 97.1.
What's going on, guys? Really quick, one name, and there's a lot of different players and people and coaching staff that can get a lot of credit for this title run, but one name I'm shocked isn't getting enough credit, and locally and nationally, it's Dusty May. This is one of the best coaching jobs I think we'll ever see, and we've seen a little bit of it last season too. To bring in all these new players and to make them all gel and from start to finish, just dominate. I'm talking about top-tier competition and just dominate. We have to give this guy a blank check today. He cannot even sniff another interview. Give him whatever he wants, and I promise you, we're not going anywhere. This is going to continue. This guy is going to. You can't name me 3 college coaches right now that are better than, or you would take over him right now. You can't. Maybe Hurley. That's about it. Who else?
Yeah, I think are there 3 active coaches with more titles? Hurley's one, Self another, Pitino if you count the 2013. But you're not taking Pitino's future,
right?
No, not future. I'm saying
Raymond, I'm making your point. Like there's only a short list of guys that have won more titles than him, and he's only 49 years old. Active coaches, and I do think you're right about something. And I know we're pressed for time, but the coaching job that he did is going to get overlooked. It's currently being overlooked. It may be historically overlooked because they bought the team, right? That's the narrative. It's a bunch of mercenaries. They did not play like 5 guys playing for themselves. He had to bring them in, this cauldron of new faces and personalities, and everybody's got their own thing, and made them play together as a cohesive group. There are other programs who attacked the portal aggressively, who spent as much or more money. They were not playing last night. They did not win a national title. You can spend. You should spend. They should be commended for spending, but it doesn't work just because you spend. You need the right coach to make it happen.
Yep.
So I think that's a great note. Got open lines. It's 97.1. All right, we talk about spring cleaning. Let's talk spring cleaning for your mouth. It's Brightside Dental, a brighter, straighter smile. Think of it as that early smile prep for summer, for wedding season, graduations, all of it. Guys, we're notorious for putting off doctor's appointments, and it's the same with the dentist. At Brightside, they're not going to lecture you. They're not going to judge you. And if you do need to get a couple cavities filled like I did, they'll make it painless. New patients always welcome. That $35 new patient special, 1-800-PAINLESS. BrightsideDental.com. That's Brightside Dental. No judgment, just care. John, how you feeling?
I feel good. It's obviously exciting to win a national title, and it's exciting that it's only year 2 of Dusty May. A day or two before the game, he had let it be known that he wasn't interviewing for any other jobs. Ward has talked about, we want to make sure that he stays here. We're working on something, whether it's a new contract for him, it's more resources for the basketball program. And so it gives you excitement that, hey, this is 1 year. It's only 2 years of Dusty May. It's one national title, but what is to come?
Yeah, but even if it's just one, it's the first in damn near 40 years. It's a long time coming.
Yes, but it gives you confidence and excitement that you're going to be in the mix.
Oh, they're doing it the way you need to do it to win at a high level in today's college basketball. And I think you celebrate them for it rather than there's a finger wagging from all
the other fan bases.
People who didn't win the national title. Yeah.
Michigan's not going away.
No.
Joe in Milford, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What a win. I got my national championship coffee in my hand, too, which is awesome. But I wanted to talk about the coaching's amazing. I think where it really showed up, too, other than the defense, was our free throw line. We didn't miss a 1-and-1. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the front ends of those one-on-ones when you kind of got in foul trouble and they were in the bonus, that's – if you miss that front end, you don't even get a chance at the second. And they did a great job of hitting those, but, 25 to 28 all day long.
Well, it was really 25 to 26, and then unfortunately, Gale he hurt everybody on the line a little bit by missing 2 free throws, but we don't fault him for that.
No, he had a good game.
Connecticut made 2 crazy threes they shouldn't have made.
The bank shot? You're like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
But Gale, he had a block early. He had the putback dunk. He was going for loose balls. No, they needed everybody. It was kind of one of those slugfest games.
Yep.
Tex said, can we slow our roll on hyping up Dusty? How hard is it to coach 5 great players? Ridiculous take.
Well, it's not just about coaching them. First of all, it is about coaching them up, but it's also about recruiting them and convincing them to come to Michigan.
Yeah, that is part of this is recruiting.
Yeah.
Selling them, but also then actually delivering on it. Like Elliot Cadeau was an elite recruit out of high school, so no one's going to deny there's talent there. But at North Carolina, teams wouldn't guard him. They ran him out of Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
That became a toxic situation. He addressed it, I think, last night, one of those Instagram lives. He's like, they said I was ass. Now he's the most outstanding player of the national champs.
Right.
You got to coach a guy like that. Mara's riding the bench. You got to coach a guy like that.
We had another text come in about how hard is it to coach basketball, and why do the same coaches have success?
Right.
Why does Rick Pitino go all over the place despite the scumbag he is, and win?
Yeah, he's winning in Greece for crying out loud. Now he's at St. John's making runs.
You don't think coaching matters?
Of course it does.
Why didn't Duke win the national title last year?
Right.
Why didn't Duke win the national title when they had J.R. Barrett and Cam Reddish and Zion Williamson?
Yeah. Or R.J. Barrett even.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go to Duke in Detroit. You're on 97.1.
That's our Dookie.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Hey, love your show. Hi, Heather. So
Hey.
glad you're back, John. I'm so glad you're back.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, first of all, how hard is it to coach basketball? Did someone say that?
Yeah, text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like these were not cast-offs, but they were 5 people that they put together. You gotta build it. He built a team. He built an unselfish team. Sorry, I'm working too. He built an unselfish team. That was one of the best defensive games I've ever seen in the national championship. Ever. I mean, I thought from both sides. Every shot was contested in a game full of offense. Everything's about offense. That was a great game defensively.
I did think both teams played really good defense. They did what they had to do.
Sorry to cut you off. In the last point, and I let you all talk, but wasn't they talking about Michigan bought that championship, but every commercial was about UConn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Those kids were getting paid left and right. Did you see any Michigan commercials?
I didn't. I know Solo Ball was at the free throw line every other commercial break, and then I know they had the investment portfolio one with the whole team in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I let you all talk, man. Go Blue.
Wait, Duke. What are you working on, by the way? You said you're working. What are you working on?
Well, I'm working at Amazon. I have 4 jobs, but one of them is Amazon.
All right. Hey, keep working hard, man.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening, Duke.
See,
Thanks.
Solo Ball made it to the free throw line plenty. Let's talk about the foul discrepancy.
Exactly. Hey, before we get to Heather's news, I have the list of names that are male Karens.
Oh, yeah.
This is AI overview passed along. Darren, Kevin, or Ken are often described as being loud, entitled, nitpicky, and frequently challenging service workers or rules.
Okay.
Chad, occasionally used as well, described as a loud, unaware male.
That's Rieger.
Okay.
Chad Rieger, later tonight. He was on past midnight last night. You know what? Good for him. This is the one team he actually is a fan of. That hasn't, you do this.
You got to celebrate it live.
He got to celebrate last night. Let's get to Heather with the news.
Well, this news is brought to you by Gardner White. So after Michigan basketball's national title win Monday night, fans swarmed Ann Arbor in celebration. Thousands of fans filled the streets. They were singing songs, reciting chants. They climbed some lampposts and trees. They also knocked down a parking meter in all of the celebration. And no serious injuries, thank goodness, or incidents were reported. 2 people were arrested. Several street signs were damaged. And the fire department had to put out 40 fires, including some couch fires there. Yeah.
I've never understood that.
What's the backstory there?
I don't know.
How did that start?
I have no idea, but it did take place, but everyone is safe and sound, so that's the good news. The police were able to kind of get everyone under control by 1 a.m. and got the crowds dispersed. They all went off to other local bars to keep on celebrating and fun times all around.
That seems like it's one of those, it was a good idea at the time until you wake up in the morning, you're like, I got nowhere to sit.
I need a new couch.
Your daughter was celebrating last night as a Michigan student.
Oh, she was, yeah. And I texted her this morning, and she said she was so excited. They were having so much fun. She didn't want to go to bed. But yet school does happen again today.
It does call, yes. I saw some of her photos on Instagram, so it looked like she had a blast. You guys, a Michigan woman is missing after falling off a boat in the Bahamas. This sounds like a Dateline story, but it sounds also like a big tragedy. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the woman, who has been identified as 56-year-old Lynette Hooker, was on this small boat with her husband over the weekend when she went overboard. The husband said that they were traveling to a different city in this hard-bottomed 8-foot dinghy on Saturday, right around 7:30 p.m. Then at some point, she fell out of the boat and strong currents carried her away. The husband says he had to paddle the boat to shore because his wife had the keys to the vessel in her pocket and the boat stopped running.
Why didn't he jump in after her?
I don't know, John.
That's a great question.
He arrived to shore at 4 a.m.
Well, it's hard to paddle.
It is. So it took him a long time. As far as the search is gone, it's been unsuccessful. Yeah, that's why I said it kind of sounds like a Dateline story to me, because there's more to the story, because you would think that
accidents
maybe
do happen,
he's not a strong swimmer and he thought, well, gosh, if I jump in, we're both goners.
Yeah, but what are the chances that she's going to get recovered?
Well, she's not. I mean,
right.
But you want to recover her body and have a proper, goodbye.
When you say Dateline, are you insinuating did he push
John
her
asked
in.
why he didn't jump in after her, and
Right. I mean,
there's
it's
questions.
Certainly.
No, I don't want to insinuate that, but I think that when I don't have all
One would wonder.
they were all alone, right? There
You're
was
still
a
on the
driver.
boat. I'm sure there was a life jacket. He could have jumped in with one of those.
Astronauts on the Artemis 2 are on their way back home after a dramatic lunar flyby that saw them travel further from Earth than any other human. So they have made history. The crew lost contact with Earth for 40 minutes as they traveled behind the moon. Then after that, the spacecraft dipped to within a few thousand miles of the lunar surface, and they witnessed a total eclipse of the sun, which was pretty darn cool. I can only imagine. The crew is now scheduled to splash down, John, at approximately 8:07 p.m. on Friday in the Pacific. So
I'll be watching every
tune
second
in
of
for
it.
that. Yes. One more quick one. I love this story about this college basketball team that's going viral, and not for what they're doing out on the court, but for what they're doing for a teammate. They have a teammate. This is at Fort Scott Community College in Kansas, who never learned how to ride a bike. So the team got behind him, taught him how, captured it all on video, and they taught him how to ride a bike for the very first time in his life.
That's cool.
Mother was moved basically to tears because she thought, this is so great. This team coming together, not to mock him, not to bring him down, but to cheer him on. And the video's gone viral, huge views online, with people calling it one of the most wholesome sports moments of the year.
Cool.
Heather with the news. This ought to be good. John, you have advice for Red Wing fans.
I do. Yeah. And for you as well.
This got to be good. Next, 97.1.
All right, guys, if hair loss has been on your mind, Dr. Mark Berkowitz has been doing hair restoration for over 30 years. He is the doctor you need to go see. Now, he intentionally limits how many patients he takes at one time. So when that consultation calendar fills, it closes. And yes, there is a wait list. So there's a lot of guys that think about flying overseas for their hair restoration because it seems cheaper, right? I've heard a lot of guys talk about Turkey, but what they don't necessarily think about is that follow-up care. What happens if something doesn't go perfectly once you're home? You know, this is medical. Follow-up matters and accountability matters. Michigan Hair Restoration is local, medically supervised, and the same team is with you before, during, and after. Now, Dr. B has actually trusted the process enough to have it done himself. He's also performed it on his own son, and that tells you everything. So if hair loss has been on your mind, this is one of those moments where waiting usually means missing your window. So here's what you got to do. You got to go to MichiganHairRestoration.com today and request a consultation before you're out of time.